Hold on.
Like
I gotta take this call. Hey, it's Jerry O.C.
Hey, Jerry.
We're about to.
Hey, Jerry, it's Hank from PMT.
We're recording right now. We're about to get to the Schefter interview.
I gotta ask. You were joking. That was for the show, right?
What do you mean? No. Listen to the Schefter interview.
Jerry, why are you getting upset? You don't even know what Schefter said.
Yeah, the people listening right now don't even know what Schefter said.
Guys, don't do it to me. Just don't do it to me. Let me cook. Let me cook on my own, please. Let me cook on my own.
On today's Pardon My Take, we have our yearly sit-down with our good friend Adam Schefter from Indianapolis. We're also going to talk about a little dust-up in the reporter world in Indy, Combine Week.
Nerd fight.
We have we're gonna talk about the report cards coming out for some teams, for the NFL team report cards. We have Fyre Fest of the week. We're gonna wrap up the whole week. We got a great show for you. Maybe a little national sports podcast, college basketball. I had a couple things I want to throw your guys' way. And before we get to all of that, DraftKings. Who's scoring big in the NBA this season? You are, with the all-new way to get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. DraftKings is home of NBA player props, so you can get behind your favorite players any which way, from monster slams to dishing the rock to cleaning the glass. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking an NBA player prop. Here's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Take it to the rack with DraftKings Sportsbook. Every point counts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers. Get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take, presented by DraftKings. Take it to the rack with DraftKings Sportsbook. Every point counts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers. Get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Today is Friday, February 28th, and we have a reporter fight. PFT, you were on the scene.
Boots on the ground.
You stayed in Indy an extra day.
Yeah, I got bullied to stay another night. Because I had a poor showing night one of the Combine. We all went home pretty early because we're old. We're washed. Went home at about 10 p.m. on Tuesday night. So decided to stick around, and I'm very glad that I did, just for this little juicy nugget. So what happened was I was having some drinks with friend of the program, Mike Silver, and a slew of... Michael Silver. A slew of reporters and agents came downstairs, and... they were all abuzz about essentially a melee that happened in the Starbucks.
Talking
upstairs.
Malice in the Palace?
It was worse than Malice in the Palace.
Okay.
So they came down and they were like, we just saw the craziest thing ever. And it was an extension of a Twitter fight that happened earlier in the day. So it all stems from the report that Jordan Schultz had that Matt Stafford and Tom Brady went on a nice little cozy ski vacation together. Matt Stafford, it is kind of, you'll see a pattern with him. He went to Cabo with Sean McVay before he became a Ram. That was also a coincidence that they happened to run into each other.
Just happened to see each other.
So in this case, he happened to run into Tom Brady at a ski resort, and Schultz was saying that they talked about the future, things like that. And then Ian Rapaport came over the top and said, I'm told that this was just a coincidence. They both go vacationing there sometimes. They did not talk about plans for the future.
So Jordan Schultz was essentially reporting that Tom Brady almost like hosted Matthew Stafford to come out.
Yes.
And that would be tampering.
At his quaint little it was a fitness vacation.
Yeah, and a fitness vacation. And Ian Rapaport was like, no, that was actually a coincidental. They see each other. Yeah. Which, by the way, I know the Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford thing, I know it seems implausible to have these two guys just run into each other, but I do think that we don't realize what like the insane wealthy athletes, like they only have a couple places they can go to have like be totally private. So it's not totally crazy they would run into each other.
I mean, can you imagine the coincidence level, though, if like you and I happen to run into each other on vacation?
Yeah.
I'm just
right,
not buying it.
Right,
I don't think
exactly.
that's possible.
But I do think I think Tom Brady and Matthew Stafford are probably vacationing in a place that we could never get to.
I think that's probably correct.
Right,
Yes.
right.
So they, according to Rapaport, they just happened to be at the same place. Didn't talk about the future. Didn't talk about playing for the Raiders. The interesting part, though, is that Jordan Schultz works for Fox, and so he was saying, like, he was telling on his coworker Tom Brady.
Okay.
And then that got people all in a tizzy at the combine too. This is the level of nerdiness that happens at the combine. Everyone's like, wow, I can't believe he's going after his own coworker like that. So that was earlier in the day. Apparently, Schultz ran into Ian Rapaport at the Starbucks. This would never happen at a Stella Blue.
Nope.
Violence free.
Also, real quick, so it was at a Starbucks. Jordan Schultz, there's no relation to...
That's what's interesting about it.
Okay.
His dad was the CEO of
founder
Starbucks.
of Starbucks.
And
maybe not founder, but he was the guy.
He was the Starbucks guy.
Yeah.
And also
the Sonics guy.
His dad was the guy that took the Sonics away.
Yeah.
So they get into a little argument there. Jordan Schultz walks up to Ian and says, we have to talk. Ian says, I don't think we have to talk about anything. Jordan Schultz then says, like, you need to back the fuck off because you're talking about me behind my back.
Oh.
Throws in a couple F-bombs.
Okay.
Then Rapaport was like, I'm not talking about you behind your back. Apparently, this is what the scuttlebutt was.
Okay.
Schultz was saying that Ian Rapaport is going behind his back and telling people that Jordan Schultz gives agents Uber stock in exchange for scoops.
Uber stock?
I don't know how this got involved.
Like a lot of stock or
Yeah, like Uber amount of Starbucks stock?
No, like Uber stock is what...
The car.
Somehow Schultz thought that Rapaport was telling people that he was giving people Uber stock.
Okay.
I talked to Rapaport. Ian Rapaport has never told anybody that they get Uber stock, but now it's
according to Ian Rapaport.
But per sources.
Well, that
but
also...
then now it has me thinking, like...
Yeah, if you're Jordan Schultz and you're accusing someone of that, it feels like it could be true?
I don't know. I don't think that Ian actually said anything like that. He's probably said some other things about Jordan Schultz behind his back.
I'm not saying it could be true that Ian Rapaport's saying it. I'm saying if you're going around defending and being like, hey, I'm not giving Uber stock to people.
It raises a lot of questions
I didn't even
stock.
say anything about Uber stock.
Yeah, my not involved in human trafficking t-shirt is making people ask a lot of questions that are already answered by my t-shirt.
Correct.
So there was a dust up, there was a fracas. He got in his face, apparently. I'm going to read Mike Florio's report on everything.
Knew Florio was going to get involved.
Yeah, so,
love that.
So this is per Pro Football Talk. If you have anything to say to me, say it to my fucking face, Schultz said, or specific words to that effect. If this continues, we're going to have a fucking problem.
Oh, boy.
If this happens again, we're going to have a fucking problem, Schultz said, or specific words to that effect. I love that reporting by Florio. Now I'll step back. So, got in his face. There were 5 or 10 people that just witnessed it straight up happen. And then after he walked away, Rapaport notified NFL security.
Ooh.
Called the cops, or Roger Goodell on him. And per sources...
What does that mean?
Well, he called NFL security and was like, hey, there was a confrontation.
There's a fracas?
According to Rapaport.
But why?
He called the NFL security because it was witnessed by so many people. He knew that somebody would have reported it, and he wanted to talk to them instead of them calling him in a day and him having to give his side of the story. Per Rapaport. I think we just settled
that's something NFL security would be concerned about?
They are investigating. There's an active, ongoing investigation.
I don't know how I feel about this.
So, I think I know how I feel about it. Rough and rowdy.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Let's settle it in the ring.
Rapaport, I did see him earlier in the day. He was wearing a pretty sick shark backpack that's not like the one he was wearing a few years ago. It's like all blacked out shark.
New shark?
Yeah, it's a new shark. He looked good. I think I'm on Rapaport's side until the police get involved. NFL security gets involved.
That was not a good move.
Like that, he should have probably just, instead of calling NFL security, he should have just blew on his rape whistle.
Starbucks. What I would have done is I would have just simply gotten punched in the face and then made a fuckload of money.
True. Good point.
Maybe Uber stock.
This is just such a hilarious, like they're having a source off. They're fighting in a Starbucks. Mm-hmm. No actual physical contact was made. just bad words said back and forth. And I think Jordan Schultz told Florio he did not say any bad words.
He said he didn't recall using all that profanity. Now, I do have a picture. Do you want to see the picture of the
I would
confrontation?
love to see a picture of the confrontation. Wait, you were there?
I was not there.
Okay, you got... Yeah, because I want video of this.
I don't think that there was any video. This is the only picture that I know that exists. And it's perfect because the Starbucks sign is right above Jordan Schultz's
Also,
head.
they look like they're not in a fight at all.
Schultz he's smiling.
He has hands on his hips.
He is towering over Rapaport.
Yeah.
And that appears to be Jeremy Fowler next to them as well.
I listen, it's always good when a couple of reporters get in a little fracas over a source off.
It's good. This is good for
fun.
the sport. Yeah. Now,
get the buzz going.
if there's
The lamest fight ever, I'll say that right now.
if there was an NFL Insider Royal Rumble, I'd take Jay Glazer.
What about our guy Prisco?
I don't know that he's an insider. He's a film guy.
Yeah, but he would fuck some people up.
If he heard that there was a journalist fight, he'd show up.
Yeah, no, Jake Glazer obviously is 1-1 draft pick.
I think he's
I don't think it's
1-1.
even close.
I feel like I'd take Schefter over Rap Sheet.
Yeah,
He's a sturdier boy.
I'd agree with that.
Fowler is big. He's got a reach issue. That's going to be tough to deal with.
Yeah.
Rossini got like 7 red cards in college. So
She's a dog.
She's violent.
She's a dog. She could dog it up.
Rob Lowe,
Rob Lowe's an insider, yeah.
insider.
Yeah. It's not exactly the who's who of guys who should be fighting. I would imagine both these guys probably haven't been in a fist fight.
No.
It's just so funny that he called the NFL security on someone, on another reporter. Reporter on reporter crime.
Yeah, but this
What do you think the NFL security is like? They're like, dude, are you serious?
Yeah, you know
We
what?
have like 150 college prospects here. We got to make sure that everything goes without incident. And you're calling about a source off at a Starbucks?
Yeah, I think they have bigger fish to fry than 2 guys that will never fight, and if they did fight, would probably not do any damage to each other.
No, they should have a debate. I would like to see a debate.
Yeah.
Who do you guys think is right about the Brady Stafford interaction?
I find it hard to believe that they just showed up at the same vacation and were like, oh, this is a weird coincidence.
I don't think though, but I see that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's that weird of a coincidence when it's like I'm pretty sure they what's the club called?
Big Sky?
Yeah, so there's a club where you have to buy a home to be part of the club, and the homes are like $10 million.
Yeah.
So it's like Zuckerberg and Brady, and so just to be in that room, you have to be the wealthiest of wealthy. So that's
Yellowstone
where, yeah,
Club.
that's where I'm like, it actually could happen in my mind because it's not like they saw each other at Disney World.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They ran into each other at Times Square.
It's a weird coincidence that the owner of a team that is looking to get a quarterback and a quarterback who is looking to be traded from his team happen to be at the same place hanging out.
It is a weird coincidence for sure, but I just think that these like the crazy wealthy and stars. So what does it say? Yeah, home purchase price of $3 million or more and initial membership due of $400,000 plus annual costs. Not a lot of people get in that.
Zuckerberg, Bill Gates.
Yeah, this is who we're
Brady.
talking about. Yeah. So
I
Churning.
I know this
No.
club exists. I just think
Petey.
that I think the 2 of them were having a little rendezvous on the slopes.
But do you think? I guess really the only thing would be, do you think that there was an explicit invitation? That would be where it's tampering. Where if like Brady was like, "Hey, come out here," or was it they happened to see each other, or maybe someone tipped off one of the sides being like, "Hey, I think Stafford's there. Hey, I think Brady's there."
I don't
Then
know.
they might have met up.
The rules don't apply to Tom Brady though. So
No.
he'll probably get away with it, or he'll smash his phone before it gets confiscated.
I think if you can prove that Tom Brady was like, "Hey, I'm going to be at Yellowstone Club, come out for the weekend," then that's tampering. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to prove. Does that feel fair?
It's going to be very hard to prove.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And especially since Stafford has kind of been given permission to look for a trade.
Right.
And feel out where his next location is going to be.
Yeah, I guess, is that tampering?
Everybody's going to be tampering with him.
Yeah, is that because he's been set in the wild where he can go try to talk to people? Is that technically tampering even?
I think they have an open relationship right now, the
Got
Rams
it.
and Matt Stafford. So Tom Brady just cracked the garage out at the Yellowstone Club.
Put a pineapple on the front lawn.
Yeah, got his pineapple snowboard out. And yeah, just had a little conversation.
It is kind of crazy, the whole Tom Brady situation. Like it does feel like this is what the 3rd or 4th time something has happened. Mm-hmm. It's like just figure it out.
The rules don't apply.
Just figure it out. Like figure out the rules, NFL. Goodell you'd think he'd want to go after Brady for something like this.
Right. It is funny, though, that Schultz works for Fox, and then he was tattling on his coworker.
Yeah, although there's 0% chance that if you ask Tom Brady, is Jordan Schultz your coworker, he'd say yes.
Correct.
Like, there's no way he's like, oh, yeah, that's my coworker.
Yeah. Unless Tom Brady owns, like, half of Uber. Then he'd be like, yeah, we do a lot of business together.
Yeah. I see the stock being traded every single day.
It's such a funny accusation, though, that this guy's giving out Uber stock in exchange for scoops.
All right, so do we have a conclusion to it? Is there anything else from it?
My conclusion was that everybody.
Did you ask Rapaport if he'd fight him?
I did not ask him if he'd fight him. I talked. He was the first. He stepped like into this room at this party I was at after I had tweeted it out and the story had just broken. I was the first person he saw. He was like, "You motherfucker!" I was like, "Hey, I'm just doing my job here.
Yeah, I got a job to do. You got a job.
I'm a journalist just like you.
Yeah,
I didn't name any names. I was going to let it come out, but yeah, it was quite a night.
That's hilarious.
Also saw Big Dom. I got to be Big Dom for Big Dom. I introduced him to somebody. I was like, "This guy's going to take care of you tonight."
Paisans.
Yeah.
We had seen him earlier in the day with Nick Sirianni coming Monday. Max, good job on that interview.
Thanks. You guys tried to fuck me, but thanks.
Nah, I don't think so.
I think we just remembered facts.
Yeah. Okay, so we also had the NFL report cards come out. I feel like they used to have more anecdotes from these. Now it just feels like a straight report card.
Yeah.
I needed more anecdotes. I needed more like, oh yeah, the Jaguars, like I tried to get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and there was a cockroach on it.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah.
It was like small blurbs from each
There was
one.
a couple blurbs. One for your owner, Hank.
Yep.
Robert Kraft's plane is not up to snuff.
Yep.
Ashtrays.
I mean, if I buy a private jet, like I'm keeping it for probably a long time.
But ashtrays is wild. Like seeing ashtrays anywhere is kind of a wild
like
thing.
1993, 1994.
Yeah, you can get new seats put in.
That's probably true.
How crazy is it that you used to just be allowed to smoke on airplanes?
Yeah, I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Or restaurants.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, bars. I remember when it was like 2008 maybe? It was banned
What?
everywhere. Yeah. I remember the last night. It was like, I think it was, in Illinois, it was I remember being at a bar and everyone was just like smoking cigarettes because they're like, tomorrow you can't do this anymore.
Yeah. In Virginia, I would go to bars sometimes. This is when I was like underage, but I would go to see a band or something. And then your hair would just smell like cigarettes for 3 days, no matter what you did after that.
Get banned.
Yeah, that's wild.
Well, they had the smoking section, which was just a table that was right next to the non-smoking section.
I got it. 2008. I remember, yeah. Everyone was like, even people who don't smoke, like, this is our last chance. Got to do it. Yeah, you just come home reeking of cigarettes. Reeking of cigarettes.
So the Patriots got an F for team travel. The Bills got an F-
Ooh.
for team travel.
Ooh.
Again, that's not a real grade. An F- doesn't exist.
Doesn't this?
It's all Fs, but they got an F- for travel. The players aren't happy with the travel accommodations for away games. I think it's just that the Bills miss being in Buffalo when they're on the road.
Probably.
They're just like, there's no wing nuts here.
Yeah.
F-.
Yeah, and then there was kind of insulting. They should have just did like a what do you say, NA for the only coaches that got a C or worse were the Bears and the Jaguars, because obviously this poll was done, I think it was like August to November. So it's Doug Peterson and Matt Eberflus. That felt mean. You could just say, coaching change.
Yep.
Doesn't count anymore. Because like they're sitting there minding their business, they're like, oh fuck, my team really hated me.
Yeah.
Because C was the worst. C was an F.
Yeah, the Eagles also had an F for team travel. They don't like the travel situation.
Got to fix that. I like this poll because the Commanders got like way better at a bunch of stuff.
Well, last
Every
year,
team, they basically get embarrassed publicly.
Yeah.
And then they fix it.
Last year, the Commanders got an F- for treatment of families. And I would say that that's probably the category that you do not want to get an F- in. That seems to be a pretty important one.
That really is just breastfeeding rooms.
They have a daycare facility now.
Yeah.
Which is good. Otherwise, it was just like, if you are playing in the game, bring your kids to the stadium and it's just let them go.
Yeah. I don't understand how anyone owns a team and gets anything worse than like a B on any of these things. If I had that much money and I owned a team, I'd be tricking out everything.
Yeah.
Like everything. I'd have the sickest locker room possible.
Yeah, locker rooms, there were a lot of negative comments about locker rooms.
I'd also have a locker in the locker room
And
as an
owners?
owner. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would time up my workouts so that I was I was like changing when all the guys came off the field, being like, man, what a great practice we had.
Yeah, so the last place was the Cardinals, I believe. I think they had the worst grades overall.
Yeah.
The Jets, memesy. F for ownership.
Bad.
For the
Is
New
that
York
Brick or
Jets.
Woody?
I think that's Woody.
That's
Okay,
Woody. Brick
okay.
is the future.
Yeah. Bad. That is bad.
It looks like the players turned on the owner in the grading.
It is such a funny concept, like where they probably, obviously, when they see Woody Johnson in the hallway, they're nice as possible, and then they're like, yeah, he's an F. Absolute F. And he sees is like, what the hell? I thought those guys liked me.
I thought you guys were my friends.
Yeah, we were talking game.
The Patriots got an F for their weight room.
Got to get that weight room fixed.
I think Vrabe's going to take care of that. Day one.
I don't understand how you have a bad weight room. I don't understand how you have a bad any of these things. Am I crazy for saying that?
Yeah. No, you're not crazy. You're
Yeah,
not crazy.
like remember a couple years ago, the Bengals, it was like they didn't do food on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Yeah.
How is that? I know how it's possible. The owner's cheap, but I just don't understand. I can't conceptualize an owner of a football team being like, our players don't get to eat on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
yeah, like
and
food and weight room and fitness.
Right.
Like, that's how you build a team.
Right.
important.
Like you can't control coach, if they don't like the coach. Obviously, if strength coaching, you hire the wrong guy. But yeah, like locker room, food, weight room, that's so easy.
Yeah.
It has to be so easy.
Dan Campbell had 100% approval rating.
Love
as
that.
a head coach. I believe Dan Quinn did too. 100%.
I think Raheem Morris also was very highly rated.
Yeah.
for
So
the
looking at
Falcons.
the Bengals, they got the F- for treatment of families. And then Bears looked okay.
Yeah, there was the Bears. It was the coach obviously brought their grade down, and I think they got to fix treatment of families as well. So it's work to be done, and also win games. Mm-hmm. That's the other thing is they actually should do
Weighted.
a column here for fans. Fans should get a say in this.
I agree.
Just overall vibes.
The other thing, the Baltimore Ravens, didn't they get an F a couple years ago? Maybe it was last year for their medical staff, their
Yeah.
training staff. So good news. Now the training staff is at a B-.
Oh,
So they've improved. I think that was just when they were all injured, and they were like, it's the trainer's fault.
right.
The Eagles got an A- in food. I think that's probably just Big Dom's office.
Yeah,
It's just like everyone's like, the food was fine, but I can always go to Big Dom's office and get a great meal.
I can open up a cabinet
Yep.
and have a chicken
Yep.
parm ready to go. Okay. What else we got? Did you guys see?
Did you see the Eagles said the players feel they should get first-class seats on team flights instead of the coaching staff?
Oh, that's a fair point.
So they want the coaches to sit coach.
Here's something I don't understand as well, and maybe someone can explain to me. When you buy a plane, why isn't every seat just first class?
That's, I think, the Patriots' complaints as well.
You can
I don't get it.
you can remodel. Yeah.
Make every seat first class. Have every seat be a lay down bed.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Do you think the linemen are sitting like coach? Like a guy who's like
Yeah,
Jordan Mailata is sitting in
I
like
think-
23B.
I think they get full rows, but I don't know why you wouldn't remodel it and just make it so that everyone has an awesome
What's the
seat.
difference then if you get a full row?
Legroom.
Legroom.
It's probably like
Big difference.
Southwest. They get on, and then you can pick your seat. Jordan takes the middle seat, and then just defies anybody to try to sit window or aisle next to him.
We need to get one. We need to get an owner on and just talk to him. Just be like, how is this possible? I maybe I'm just way missing this, but the NFL makes so much money. These guys make so much money every single year. I would put all the money back into it and just be like, here, guys, let's make this the best place possible so people want to come here.
Yeah, you would think so, right?
Oh, no, I'm looking at the Patriots. Aircraft has all first-class seats with 5 extra inches of legroom beyond a typical first-class seat.
They call it aircraft.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a good name.
That is pretty funny. Well done, Max. Got it.
Got what? I get.
But they still got a
his
bad
name-
travel grade.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Craft.
I think just teams don't like. I saw a lot of teams complaining that there wasn't Wi-Fi on the planes.
But that's every plane ever.
Yeah.
You could be the richest person in the world and you still would be trying to get Wi-Fi on a plane.
Yeah, and
that's
you
just how it works.
You spend the entire flight just refreshing, and you don't get anything.
Right.
But you spend 2 hours searching for Wi-Fi.
I also think the Dolphins aren't filling this out. I think the team just
Well,
got
no.
sent the thing and they just didn't read anything. Did fives across the board.
Well, the Dolphins get the credit of living in Miami. So everyone's like, yeah, my life's pretty good. I live in Miami. I think the
Everything is A+. They're first in everything. I think that everyone has got that survey where it's like, I don't feel like filling this out. I'm just giving 5.
It's an A+. But I think where you live matters because it's like if you're in Buffalo, if you're in Green Bay, if you're in Cleveland, you need your facility and weight room to be good because that's where it's like it sucks outside.
You have to attract people. I think the Vikings and the Falcons also had very good grades.
Yeah, they always do.
Just everybody copying over Kirk Cousins' shoulder.
Yeah. Okay, so good job some of the teams, not all of them. Did you guys see one of my favorite stories I've seen in a while? Dwayne Wade did a podcast and he revealed that he knew that LeBron's time in Miami was coming to a close because Pat Riley took away LeBron's cookies.
Yeah.
Incredible. And also, I think I'm 100% on LeBron's side. So Dwayne Wade tells the story. He's like, yeah, we get on the plane. LeBron loves cookies, loves ice cream. He's got a bag of cookies that he brings on every plane. And they were playing cards. And LeBron said to someone, hey, bring me my cookies. And the flight attendant was like, sorry, sir, there are no more cookies on this plane. Pat Riley had taken them away. If someone takes another man's cookies, you have to fight them. That's fight. Fuck, whether Tom Brady invited Matthew Stafford, that's a fight.
The thing is, you could just not give cookies in the first place, but you can't give them and then take them away.
But he brought the cookies.
Oh, really?
He brought his own cookies on the plane.
They were
Can you find the
confiscated.
clip? Can we play the clip? He brought the cookies and Pat Riley confiscated them like it was fat camp.
What kind of cookies were they?
He said chocolate chip. Which
were they ooey?
Listen, God forbid if those were homemade cookies.
Yeah,
then it's actually you have to beat the fuck out of Pat Riley in front of the whole team.
I'm saying if they're ooey and they're gooey and you take them, yeah, I'm quitting.
It's very funny because Dwayne Wade explains it, but like LeBron stopped playing cards when he found out his cookies were taken, and it's like that's a real. So this is from the Underground Lounge.
This was the first moment where I had an inkling that LeBron may not be back. One thing you don't do is fuck with LeBron cookies. No. This is serious. Like, he loves chocolate chip cookies. Like, chocolate chip cookies and ice cream he loves, right? And so when he gets on the plane, Bron walks on the plane with a bag of food. One bag is all cookies, and the other bags are what his chef has prepared for him to eat because he eats a certain way. He don't eat what's on the plane.
Yeah.
But he have his cookies. So we get on the plane and we play cards at the front of the plane. We play cards, and then at some point, Bron gonna be like, "Hey, bring me those cookies." And this one day, he was like, "Hey, where my cookies at?" And they had to come up there and whisper in his ear and tell him there were no more cookies on the plane.
Yeah.
That motherfucker sat back away from the game. He pushed that cards back. He sat there quiet, doing his head like this. I was looking, I'm like, he ain't play cards no more. He sat there like this.
And Smack, you gotta know, if this card game gets shut down, shit's serious.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's serious.
If this card game gets shut down, it's serious.
It was too much micromanaging at that
That's
point.
it. Mm-hmm.
Like, you're talking about a team who's
I wasn't familiar with LeBron's game.
You don't need.
I didn't know he was a bring his own cookies guy. Respect.
I mean, I would quit. I would quit if I were LeBron. I don't blame him from walking away from the Heat for this.
That's the most, like, I would rather someone come and pat me on the head, like patronizing words, to take another man's cookies. You're basically saying they're a 4-year-old that didn't eat their vegetables.
Yeah, you're calling them fat.
I'm upset for LeBron. This story pissed me off. Pat Riley, bad guy. Real bad guy.
What if they just ate them all? What if they were so good, the flight attendants had them, it got out of hand, no more cookies?
You'd think they would say that, though. It sounded like Dwayne Wade had it down pat that it was Pat Riley. Because remember, this also matches with what the Heat culture where they weigh them every day and all that stuff. Max, you agree?
I think they're probably shitty cookies.
What?
Yeah.
You don't think that if he has a chef making his dinner, he doesn't have a chef making his cookies?
But I think his chef making his dinner, that's because he only eats specific healthy
would he get
shit
shitty cookies?
so that he's probably getting almond flour cookies and stuff.
No,
I feel like that's his vice.
No, I think that's his vice. I think the chef is probably making the best cookies possible, and I know that this sounds ridiculous because people are like, dude, you're really upset about this. I'm upset about this. It's the most I've ever been a LeBron fan.
And the ice cream makes you think that it's...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a sweet tooth.
Yeah, he's got a sweet tooth. Okay.
Not a
I take
crime.
it back.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone ever took my cookies, oh my God, I would lose it. I've been eating so many Girl Scout cookies. I bought a bunch.
I've still been thinking about the Sam Schwartzstein's cookies that he brought in.
Oh, they were good,
Those
right?
were so good. Shout out his wife.
The Girl Scout cookies in my house, we bought a bunch because my little cousin is a Girl Scout, and so she came over and gave us a bunch, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to bring them to the office. And I just haven't been bringing them to the office. I've just been mowing them down box by box. It's crazy.
I discovered some Thin Mints in my freezer from last year. You think those are still good?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, good.
I actually think there was a clip going viral that was like Thin Mints are essentially not food.
I don't care.
Yeah, well, I love whenever they do that. Whenever you see the video and they have the blowtorch, like watch this Oreo doesn't go on fire. You know what? Don't care.
Yeah, we left this Big Mac on the counter for 3 months, and it still looks exactly the same.
There's some shit that I think they should probably fix, but in terms of cookies, I don't care. I know when you're eating a cookie, you're not eating a cookie being like, this is good for me. You're opting into bad stuff. Mm-hmm. So it could be as bad as possible. I don't give a fuck. Do I want the bread to be better? Sure. Cookies? I'm fine.
So the big question I have, though, LeBron has been so good at curating and managing his public image throughout the years. How come he didn't talk about this? Everyone would have been on his side.
If he had just said, hey, Miami, great, 5 years or whatever it was, 4 years, won 2 titles, Pat Riley took my cookies, I got to go.
Yeah.
That's it. Everyone would be like, yeah, you know what? He actually should go revisionist history and be like, Dan Gilbert took my cookies, and that's why I made the initial move to Miami.
And then he promised me that he would let me have my cookies again, so I came back.
All right. The other thing I had was...
Jordan would never allow his cookies to be taken.
No,
that's
never.
the thing. That's the difference.
No, he'd fight him.
He would keep that on his person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bad OPSEC by LeBron letting another man touch your cookies to begin with.
You can't let him out of your sight.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing I had was little national sports podcast talk, college basketball. Incredible night of college basketball. I was talking with Titus because I went on his show. It does feel like the sport in general knows that March is coming because we had like an insane buzzer beater in the Michigan State game. We had great finishes in Kentucky and Oklahoma and Texas and Arkansas, Villanova,
Temple.
That
was a great finish.
PFT. I was watching this game because crazy. I bet on it, but the Temple game. The guy goes to take a on the baseline a buzzer beater with maybe 2 seconds left. He gets blocked by all 3 USF guys, and their momentum carries him. He just grabs the block and then hits the shot.
Let me see here.
It was crazy. Or 2. Boom.
That's pretty incredible.
Needed overtime bad there. That was heartbreaking.
I'm excited for conference tournament week. My favorite week of the year. It's going to be great.
Yeah. So the stories I had, one was, I don't know if you saw, but Danny Hurley had a very funny moment where the media asked him about the press. And he said, the press has been an asshole to me all year. Mm-hmm. And then the guy was like, I'm talking about the press on the court when a team presses you.
Yeah, which has also been an asshole.
Yeah, which has also been an asshole. I also have a new thing because we at this podcast, we talked about Coach Cal being on the hot seat a lot. Probably can't do that right now because he's, first year at Arkansas. Got paid a lot of money. Mm-hmm. They actually got a big win. They should potentially be in the tournament. But I'm addicted to anytime Kentucky wins a game, just saying that's a game Cal would have lost.
Yeah.
And last night I got in a real tricky spot because Kentucky won, and I said that's a game Cal would have lost. And then 5 minutes later, Cal beat Texas in overtime, and I was like, great job by Cal. That's a game Cal usually loses. Mm-hmm. So, but I think that's what we have to say for it. Doesn't have to make sense. Cal won a lot of games, but every game that Kentucky wins, we just got to be like, that's a game Cal would have lost.
Yeah, I mean, if they really fill it up and they win by 20, that's a game Cal would have won. Mm-hmm. But if it comes down to X's and O's,
Cal would have lost it. And it is very funny because it pisses people off because they're like, Cal won an insane amount of games. I'm like, yeah, I'm aware, but the ones he lost. That was one of the ones he would have lost.
Yeah, I like that. I like that take. Let's
just run with it. Yeah, it's just anytime Kentucky's in a close game, you just say that's a game Cal would have lost.
I like it. Yeah. There's another piece of news from the NFL.
Okay,
they're going to start using Hawkeye technology.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
So for first downs next year, they're going to have the chain gang on the sideline to use as a backup just in case. But they're going to do like tennis does, and they're going to say first down, no first down based on technology.
Okay.
Which I like the chain gang. I don't want to turn NFL into a computer simulation. I like having the guys run out on the field with a chain. There's something nice about seeing a 70-year-old man trot out there very slowly, and then they measure it, then the official gets real close, holds up his hands. I like that part of the game.
I have a question, and this comes from a place of love because I do love Bills Mafia. I love Josh Allen. Everyone knows that. What happens if the Bills actually win a Super Bowl? Will we just get no new rules? Because all our new rules are just whenever the Bills lose to the Chiefs, we make a new rule.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it's done. They're also thinking about changing overtime.
Okay,
Again, Troy Vincent said it's time to re-examine the overtime rules, which sucks because it takes us 2 years to really learn overtime and be able to spot it like off the top of our head. If you were to ask me like on a Wednesday during NFL season, what is the NFL's overtime policy? It takes me like a year to get confident to just have that information, and then they change it, and then they're going to have to put that big graphic up before overtime. It's not going to make any sense to me.
Yeah, here are the overtime rules. All right, what else? Oh, I also, for college basketball, I think they should change the rules. We're talking about changing rules. I think we should ban fouling up 3. I don't know how they could do it. I like the idea of maybe if you foul up 3, they get 3 shots, so it's just like really high pressure 3 free throws, but there's nothing worse than in a game where a team is up 3 and it just becomes a foul fest, and you lose out on like awesome moments.
Yeah, it's intentionally breaking a rule while you're leading that game.
Right,
doesn't sit right with me.
Right, so I don't know, and also people don't understand foul up 3 is like a concept. There's a lot of people who are like, that's why you got to foul up 3 when a team will hit a shot with like 10 seconds left. It's like, no, you don't foul up 3 with 10 seconds left.
What's the time zone that you hit it in?
I think it's like gotta be, it's usually like 5, it's like 5 to like 2 seconds kind of. I think Oregon hit a 3 against Wisconsin on Saturday to tie the game. There was 8 seconds left.
Yeah.
And Rothstein was like, that's why you got to foul up 3. It's like, no, that's not why you foul up 3.
My favorite thing to do at the end of a game is no matter how much time's left, no matter what the lead is, I just like to say, you don't need a 2 or you don't need a 3 here.
Yeah.
You can get a 2 here.
You usually can. You usually get an easy 2 because they're playing 3-point defense. You just run to the. When would you foul up 3, Max? It's like 5 seconds, maybe less.
No, I don't hate fouling up. Especially Wisconsin. Wisconsin should be fouling up 3 early because they're the best free throw shooting team of all time.
I don't know, but if you foul up 3 with 10 seconds left, there's so many possessions left.
But you just got to trust your. If you're that good of a free throw shooting team, you got to trust your free throws. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, I just like seeing games have thrilling endings instead of.
I think it depends on the team. If you're a shitty free throw shooting team, you probably never foul up 3.
Yeah, true. But I'm ready for madness. That Michigan State, I felt bad for our friend Scott Van Pelt. I think that was right in his eye.
Yeah,
he was courtside.
I think it might be Izzo season.
Oh yeah, he said these guys are playing for Michigan State. That's all they care about.
Love it.
You know he's feeling it.
Love it. There's another little tidbit here, Max, I'd like to get your take on from Steph No. Steph No did some research, and he came to the conclusion that Paul George played better this season right after he dropped podcasts. And now he's not podcasting anymore. So games directly following a podcast, he averaged 17.1 points per game. With no podcast, down to 16 points per game.
It also sounds like he just never wants to podcast again.
So what happened? Paul George just quit his podcast because the Sixers suck?
He said until they are like contending for a championship, so
Zero Dark 30.
that was just a way of him being like, I don't want a podcast anymore.
Yeah, it's not for everybody. Now, the craziest one is his 3-point percentage. In a game where there's no podcast before, he shoots 31.9%. In a game after a podcast drops, he shoots 42%. 42.9.
You got to get him podcasting.
So he shoots 11% better from 3 directly after dropping a podcast.
I'm done with Paul George.
Oh.
That's my take.
Wait, even next year?
Maybe we'll see.
Wow.
This year,
The season's over.
that's what I'm saying. I don't care. I'm opting out of all Sixers news.
Oh, all of it.
I refuse to let you opt out.
Yeah, we don't
This
agree.
season is over. I want this. I just want to fast forward to the end of the season.
Do you think when somebody does a deep dive into the analytics of Podcast P and his game, you think we're not going to bring that up to you?
No, yeah, I understand. We have to talk about it.
Yeah, you're trying to be Paul George. You're trying to not do a podcast.
Yeah, you could say that.
What could make you guys take a break from podcasting? Is there anything?
Oh, Hank, that's weird. Why would you ask that right before golf season starts?
I think if I played for the Sixers.
That was such a loaded
no, it's
weather,
it's
50
topical.
degrees.
It's topical.
Topical to your life, yeah.
No, oh my God.
All right.
Never mind.
No.
We were driving to Indy on Tuesday, and after about 10 minutes on the road, Hank just looks to the side of the road and looks at me and smiles. And I'm like, you motherfucker. He was just looking at the road that he takes to go to his golf club, and he was just thinking about getting out there with his sticks.
So wait, ask the question again. What would take us to stop podcasting?
Paul George stopped podcasting to focus on a championship.
Nothing.
Is there anything that you guys would stop podcasting to focus on? Sorry, that's apparently about me, and I want you guys to stop podcasting.
Never. I would never stop.
No.
I would only stop podcasting to focus on the podcast.
I would only stop podcasting to focus on Hank's golf game.
I had a bunch of people coming up to me last week saying that I was the new Hank.
What
does that mean?
Because you took a vacation.
Because I was on vacation.
Oh, and you win? Now you're a winner. And you're a winner now.
And you're a winner.
I didn't even think about it like that.
Wow, it could have been that.
Yeah. I am planning my next vacation just for...
Yeah. Hank has low-key kind of become the new Max.
How so?
He hasn't won anything in a while.
He won
In a while. Almost a full year.
literally the second closest. Wait, no, the third closest.
Third
MLB.
closest. Yeah. What would take you to stop podcasting, Hank?
Nothing. I would never stop.
I love that about you.
You guys stopping, though, would make me stop. I can never podcast without you guys.
Oh, I love that.
Appreciate that,
I
Hank.
love that. But yeah, also on the drive up or down to Indy, Max just treated us like we were 5 years old.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is.
You called and you said, hey, do you guys think that you'll be on time?
You called.
You left yet?
Yeah, you called me
wasn't a
and
trip.
asked if I had
That's not
left
what I
yet
said.
because you're like
Yes,
you might
did.
miss the first
You said,
interview.
Did you guys leave yet?
That's a fact. We probably have the footage.
The last I had spoken to you, you told me that you were leaving at a different time.
I said 8:30.
And as I was
But it
going
was
through the
20
drive, I
past
was
that
like,
time.
as I was going through the drive, I was like, if he left at the time he told me he was going to leave, he may not be there on time.
What time did you call, though?
I don't know. I can check my.
But you know me pretty well, Max. I'm
I
not
do.
someone who's late to things or who like fucks up time things.
I understand that. I was getting anxious in my own brain about what I would do if you guys weren't like.
You
if
would have
Liam
done-
Cohn showed up and it was just me, I was getting anxious about what I was going to do in that moment.
Just hang out, do the pod on your own?
Yeah, just do it yourself. It was you were little bro.
And then no, that not little broing. That was my own anxiety taking over. What day? This was Tuesday. All right, yeah, it was exactly 20 minutes after he told me. But that wasn't a like, have you left yet? That was more
said,
of a,
have you left yet?
I know,
You guys
but
left,
that was poor wording. Sometimes I have poor wording. Sometimes I have poor wording. I just wanted to know what the status was.
The status was we were going to be on time.
Correct, but I wanted to make sure I was,
have you guys been duped by any fake Epstein logs?
All
I
of
know
them.
it's in the. I shout out the bro Hyan, I think is his Twitter name. He
Yeah, no, Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy.
That one was real. Rudy was on the plane.
he just he said, "Wow, here's the Epstein log. This is crazy." It was just the Packers depth chart, and I got like 4 names down. I was like, "Oh wow, this is fucked for them." Like, wait a second.
I like that.
All right, we have anything else? Anything before we get to Schefty? Great interview with Schefty. Any other national sports podcast news? It's going to be March soon. It's going to be March on Saturday.
NBA Central.
Oh yeah, free NBA Central.
So they got suspended?
I don't know. I don't think it's free of them
Why?
because they had 2 months to declare themselves a parody account and they just didn't.
They're not a parody. They're Central.
Yeah, you got to kind of just do that, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a parody account, so it's like all you have to do is declare yourself a parody account.
I thought humor was legal now. What about free speech?
We're legalizing comedy. Okay, so don't free him. I mean, I would like him back.
No, I say
he
free
would
him.
get me all the time. I would get got all the time. What was the one that I said on the podcast? Is like the big nuts, the testicle jewelry one. Yeah, he was like crazy. Draymond Green buys like $400,000 gold testicles. I was like, damn, that's crazy.
I can't believe Hank's taking the side of big tech. You're blaming Sintel. Sintel is a vital part of the sports ecosystem.
No, I mean, I think it's like if you're a parody account and they say if you want to, you can be a parody account, you just have to declare yourself as a parody account. If you don't, we're going to take your account down.
Yeah. Hold on.
I
I got to take this call. Hey, it's Jerry O.C.
Hey, Jerry.
We're about to...
Hey, Jerry, it's Hank from PMT.
We're recording right now. We're about to get to the Schefter interview.
I gotta ask. You were joking. That was for the show, right?
What do you mean? No. Listen to the Schefter interview.
Jerry, why are you getting upset? You don't even know what Schefter said.
Yeah, the people listening right now don't even know what Schefter said.
Guys, don't do it to me. Just don't do it to me. Let me cook on my own, please. Let me cook on my own. I don't want... If you're going to have Shefty and Shefty's kids chiming in, honestly, get Hank to manage it. Like, he'll get it. He's done a great job with the bonk list. I mean, I'm not even kidding. Have Oldie do it. He can use some of his CFL knowledge. Rudy and all that stuff. He could maybe whip his pussy out.
Listen.
Just don't do it.
Just listen to what we talked about with Schefter, and then we'll talk after.
Don't do it to me, guys. Don't do it to me.
Just be open-minded.
What did Shefty say about the Giants? Because I gotta tell you, I saw a post that Aaron Rodgers might go there, and I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. Listen, no one's listened to the Schefty interview yet because we're taping right now, and this is right before we get to Schefty.
That's a good tease for the Giants.
Yeah.
But guys, honestly, I know that was like a bit earlier.
No, it wasn't.
I can't do it. Don't do it to me.
Jerry, I need you to not flip out until you actually hear the words.
Yeah, you got to hear it, and then we'll talk.
I can't hear PFT. Tell him to say it with his chest. I can't hear him.
I'm saying it with my chest, Jerry. I'm telling you to just contain yourself until you listen to the interview. You might be whistling a different tune.
Guys, please. I'm not gonna beg for my job. I'm not gonna beg for my job.
You are begging right now.
I think we got to take his cookies away.
I have a question about the Jaguar GM. Was that AI that child who did the press conference?
Yeah, it might be. Listen, just listen to the Schefty interview. This is great promo for the Schefty interview, and we'll discuss afterwards, okay?
Do it. I'll only work with Max. That's the only one. Why don't you get Steve Chea to do it? You'll have all Bucks next year. Good luck with that, fellas.
Okay. All right, we've heard your demands. Just listen to it with an open mind, okay?
I'll only work with Max.
Okay.
Or memes.
Okay.
Max or memes. That's it. Nobody outside of the building. Max or memes and not Hank.
Okay.
They'll be like, you just take care of it. We're down on the golf course.
All right, Jerry. We'll talk to you later. Man, he's mad.
People forget we did it closest to the pin with Jerry, and he stayed on the simulator for 6 hours.
It's true.
Likes golf.
Also, it just dawned on me. You know who won our fantasy league last year?
Who?
Jordan Schultz.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
So maybe team them up.
That was a tough Venmo to send.
Yeah. Team them up. Okay, let's get to our interview with Schefty, where we do discuss maybe shuffle in the organization that we have going on with our fantasy football operation.
We're examining everything to deliver a winner.
Yeah, there's been no decisions made. Jerry needs to understand that. He's probably listening to this right now. Jerry, we have not made any decisions. We're exploring all options. It would be wrong of us as owners of the team to not explore every avenue to make us better.
We're custodians of a very important franchise.
Right.
And we take that very seriously. And frankly, Jerry's reaction to not having any news at all about this is concerning to me.
Yeah, that was the third phone call we've had with him in the last 25 minutes. He hung up on us twice.
He seems a bit unstable.
Okay, before we get to our interview with Schefty, we are brought to you by our friends at Truly. Truly Unruly is the first high ABV hard seltzer that actually tastes good. Truly Unruly is a hard seltzer that breaks all the rules, drinks light, parties hard. With 8% ABV, it hits hard but still tastes amazing. Comes in 4 fresh flavors: tropical twist, berry blast, citrus crush, strawberry smash. It's the official hard seltzer, pardon my take. Find Truly Unruly at a store near you or visit www.trulyhardseltzer.com. trulyhardseltzer.com. It is about to get to, we're about to get to summer golf season. It's going to be an unruly summer with Truly. So Strawberry Smash, my personal favorite. Go get Unruly with Truly. 8% ABV. Tastes delicious. Find Truly Unruly at a store near you or visit trulyhardseltzer.com. We're also brought to you by Stella Blue, introducing Stella Blue's Coffee Mug Mania contest. So here's the deal. We're going to do a mug submission on StellaBlueCoffee.com. Submit your original mug design by March 9th for a chance to walk away with a grand prize of $2,500. That's $2,500. And to have your mug featured on StellaBlueCoffee.com. It's super easy to do it. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to buy anything. You just go in. You should buy something, but you go in, you follow directions, design your mug, and then the best mug will win $2,500 and be featured on StellaBlueCoffee.com. I'm trying to make the best mug possible. So visit StellaBlueCoffee.com today to learn more. StellaBlueCoffee.com to learn more. Okay, here he is, Adam Schefter. Okay, we now welcome on our very good friend. It is Adam Schefter, ESPN insider. This is maybe 6th straight year we've done this?
I was going to ask you how many straight years we've now done this.
It's been a lot. It's a combine tradition of having Shefty on.
And I didn't hear from you until Monday. I didn't even reach out.
I knew you were good. We were getting all of our ducks in a row, and then I hit you up, and I was like, hey, can you do this time? You're like, yeah, I'll do whatever.
Yeah, what took you so long,
yeah.
Right? And it's become such a tradition. I said this before, and I really mean this. There's not a week that goes by where somebody doesn't stop me and say, I don't love the Adam Schefter podcast. I never hear that. But I love listening to you on PMT.
I love that. That's the best compliment we can get.
Well, it's because you changed the name.
Nobody has stopped me yet to say, I love you on the Adam Schefter podcast.
No, from Adam.
Yeah, but you changed the name.
I changed it.
You lost the audience when they tuned in for the name.
Yeah, just basic Adam Schefter podcast. But stopped on a regular basis.
Yeah. Love
you on PMT. So hopefully,
I love that.
We're going to make the people happy today and give them what they want.
All right, cool. So I have a very, very important question to ask you first. It's a multi-layered question. Let's start with this. You have 2 phones.
Yeah.
How new are they? Like, when did you get them?
Well, it's funny you asked that because literally this is my primary phone right here in my lap. And this is my secondary phone, which is the 2 phones I carry. And one of them they're 2 different carriers, providers. I have been ordering a new phone, and it showed up from ESPN yesterday.
Okay.
And my son is like, why do they keep sending you old phones? And I called up to speak to somebody. I'm like, what's the deal? Like, it's always 2 models behind.
Right.
And so they said, that's just how we do it.
Okay, so how long? So
this happened yesterday.
You have a new phone. How long have you had the phone that you're switching out?
Too long.
How long?
3-4 years.
Okay, so I asked that question because I'm sure you saw our mutual friend Woj selling some of his old phones. I'm willing to offer, I think, unlimited amount of money to buy the Myles Garrett Assault phone from you. I don't know if you can pinpoint exactly which phone that is, but I want that.
We could try. Let's see.
I want to put it. I want to frame it. I want to put it in our studio.
This would be the phone.
That would be the phone?
This would be the phone. So
name your price. Name your price.
Well, do we get to donate it to a charity?
Fuck the charity.
I don't know about that.
I just want this phone.
Wait, does it get a prominent spot?
Yes, we can donate to a charity. Yes, we'll put it. I want it framed, and I want it to be like, this is the phone that Adam Schefter tweeted assault from.
So
11/15/2019.
Oh, so that might not be the phone.
So about 5 years ago.
I'm not. Listen, we know that we have to get this right because if we buy the wrong phone, and everyone's gonna be like, "Are you sure that's the phone?"
It would have to be authenticated.
Yeah. So do you think there's a phone that you have maybe in your office that's the other phone that was the assault phone?
I really believe that this is the assault phone.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to authenticate it, but we will donate to charity to get this in our studio, and then
and it
also
gets framed.
Yeah, framed everything, and then you can also throw in maybe the phone that has the Des Bryant tape on it. So we'll do that. We'll do a 2 for 1. That one you got to keep the tape on it though. We'll have it just playing on loop. In our studio.
We do need to do some forensic analysis of the phone.
Yeah,
to make sure that's the one.
But you're willing to negotiate for charity.
100%.
Okay, I love that.
Whatever you say.
You get to wipe the phone. We'll put it up, and it just says, "This is the phone that Adam Schefter tweeted assault from when Myles Garrett committed assault."
It would be my honor to give you this phone.
This is huge.
There should be like a Hall of Fame section.
Yeah.
In the Barstool
Yeah,
office.
the Ray Allen phone that he tweeted that thing out. That would be nice. Yeah.
Yes, we have the Will Compton Museum in one of the bathrooms. So, and listen, I'll also extend this courtesy to you. Whenever you want to come visit your phone, you have free right to come and visit your phone.
That's big.
That's huge.
Yeah, I mean,
Charge admission for people to touch it.
You can't put a price on that.
Yeah.
People taking pictures next to the phone.
So wait, you have two different carriers. Do you do that just in case like AT&T blows up for a day?
No, just in case. Like, it's amazing how often I'm in one spot and I don't have reception on one phone, but I do on another. There's a road near my house that this phone loses reception every time, but this one keeps it.
So you're always on the grid.
It's weird. But this one, the primary one, it's really acting up. And we got free agency in a couple of weeks here, and I do not trust this phone. This phone is literally on its last legs.
It's time bomb. Yeah.
It's a time bomb.
Okay.
And I'm working with Disney, and they sent me a 15, model 15, and my son's like, you need a 16. I'm like, why? I don't understand any of this.
Yeah.
I'm not smart enough tech-wise. He's like, more processors, better chips. Okay. So I think I'm going to Apple this weekend to buy the 16. And if and when I do that and transfer over everything, you'll give me the address.
Yep, that's ours. And
I'll
you give us a charity, and
I'll
we'll do it.
ship you this phone.
I love it.
And you can hang it on the wall.
Yes. I love it.
Speaking of Myles Garrett, let's talk about Myles Garrett real quick. So is he going to be traded?
There are so many complicating factors with that, right? If you trade him, first of all, they've been very steadfast in saying we're not trading him. That's number one. Number two, if they do trade him, there's like a $36 million cap charge that gets accelerated. So it's hard to trade him. It's hard to do it from a financial standpoint. You don't know if there's a team out there that's even willing to give up what it would take. So there are a whole slew of factors. Now, we've seen in recent years any number of players want to go from wanting to be traded to signing extensions.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I know this is not money-based, but Lamar Jackson wanted to be traded, dropped that before John Harbaugh was having breakfast with the reporters at the owners' meetings a couple of years ago, and he wound up signing a month or so later. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, we can go on and on. Again, I would think eventually maybe he'll soften up because the Browns feel like they're unwilling to move him. Mm-hmm. It would take a change. Now, the Bears or the Raiders at one point in time were like, we're not trading Khalil Mack. We're not trading Khalil Mack. We're not trading Khalil Mack. September 1st of that year, after weeks and months had passed, they traded Khalil Mack to the Bears.
Yes. So if they do trade him, what do you think the ballpark compensation is? And give us the teams that are going to be hot and heavy for him.
Well, if you go back and look at what the Bears gave up for Khalil Mack.
It was 2 firsts.
It was a third, a fifth. It was a bunch of, to me, that's the most fair comp there is out there right now. You could look across the league, and I could tell you that there are 31 teams aside from Cleveland that could use Myles Garrett. Mm-hmm. Realistically, I think you're looking at a contender that needs a pass rusher that it can make a huge difference. Buffalo would be unbelievable. Washington would be unbelievable.
You're a contender. Yeah, contender.
Right? Like,
yeah.
How does it feel?
Right,
how does it feel when we say Washington contender?
It makes me feel tingly.
Contender.
I don't see the thing about Washington is they were a great team. They were fun to watch last year. I love the direction the team's going in. Dan Quinn did a great job. Adam Peters seems to know what he's doing. But the roster needs a lot of upgrades. I don't know that you can say that we're one piece away just because we got to the NFC Championship game. The roster across the board, they have to go out and find all these replacements. So, while yes, I would love Myles Garrett, I feel like the compensation is going to be very, very rich.
It is, absolutely. And that's even if they do trade him, which right now they say they're not going to. But Jaden Daniels, like, you are set up for the next 12 to 15 years to be.
Don't say that. That's a long time.
But that's what it should
be. I hope that you're right.
Because
we were in these chairs not but 4 years ago when you did the meanest thing you've ever done to me, and you put Carson Wentz inside my brain, and you knew what you were doing. Is there anything that you've heard this week? Maybe if you want to say Deebo repeatedly to me to make me feel good about the chances of getting Deebo Samuel.
I could see them being interested in Deebo Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there is a market for Deebo Samuel that's probably a little bit stronger than people thought it would be. And I think the 49ers are going to be able to trade him.
Okay. What else are the 49ers going to do? Because it feels like they're a team in like heavy transition. They have to probably shed a couple other players. Who else is someone that you might? I mean, is Brock Purdy going to get signed? Are they going to let him play out the rest of this contract?
Here's the issue: they are in such a difficult cap situation that it's going to impact all sorts of things. So I think with Brock Purdy, here's the thing that people have to remember: he's got a year left on his deal,
right?
And so the Niners can offer him a package and say, here's what we're willing to do, whatever that is. And then, is it going to be the Dak Prescott contract? It's not. I don't expect it to be.
Right.
Is it going to be a fair contract? I would think it would be. They have to pay him. He's worthy and deserving of a big contract. But what is that deal? And that's going to be one of the questions. They've got so many financial issues and so many things they have to do and need to do that you're not going to be able to pay Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott. You can find a deal for Brock Purdy, but, and I'm sure his agent wouldn't like this, but if Brock Purdy doesn't like that deal, like, I don't know how far the Niners can go, and then the Niners can just say, okay, guess what? We have your rights this year for $5 million. We could franchise tag you next year for $40 million. That's $45 million over the next 2 years that they have as contractual rights for. Is that fair? No.
Right.
But that's the way it is right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's a tough spot. So there's a deal to be had for both sides that's fair, but how do you work through that and figure it out?
Dude, in general, I feel like teams don't use the franchise tag as often as you
Some
think.
teams view it as a weapon, and some teams would rather not do it. And this year, I don't know what the record is for fewest number of players who are tagged, but this year we're looking at T. Higgins. Maybe that might be the only one that we get.
Yeah, I know
this
Trey
year.
Murphy was thrown around, but that would be, I think the Chiefs.
Trey
would do
Smith.
it. Yeah.
On Kansas City, Byron
Smith,
Murphy.
yeah, Trey
Minnesota
Smith,
can't
sorry.
be tagged. Trey Smith, maybe a transition tag. I don't think that happens. But you're not going to get more than at most 2 tags this year.
So do you think that, because like the franchise tag, it does feel like teams, they use it as kind of a, hey, we could do this, but they don't use it very often. Do you think there's any way that when they get to the negotiating table, they get rid of the franchise tag or adjust it and change it?
Well, here's the thing. In the next couple of years, at some point in time, the NFLPA is going to have a chance to go to the bargaining table, and the NFL is going to very badly want that 18th regular season game.
It's already worked into the 2027 Super Bowl?
2027 is played on Presidents. Yeah,
Yeah,
Presidents
so it's already there.
Yeah, because you know what's going to happen here? What's going to happen is they're going to eventually, I believe, no matter how much the NFLPA has objected, I think that they're wise to say what they've done. They get to an 18-game schedule, and then the league can take a 12, 14, 16-game international package and sell
We
that.
heard this. I hate this idea.
I'm just telling you.
Can you tell the league not to do this? So the idea would be that there would be every single week there would be a standalone like 9:30 in the morning game.
Maybe not every week, but plenty of weeks.
Can you tell them alternatively what they should do is they should do a hybrid of the college football model and have East Coast games start at noon local time, and then there's another 4 games that kick off at 3:15, and then there's another 2 or 3 games that kick off at 6 o'clock, and then Sunday Night Football at 8:30. That's what we want. We want there to be, there's no break in the football. You just have overlapping windows. You have 4 windows, and you don't have the 9:30 because that game, it's just.
Have you thought
It's a
about
lot.
throwing your name into the ring to succeed Roger Goodell when he decides to step down as the commissioner?
I'm
of the
just
NFL?
saying-
it's a real issue because on Sunday you wake up. We as football fans have about like a 3 or 4 hour time span there where we can act like normal functioning adults.
Get all your bets in.
You can do some sort of chore. You can spend time with the family or with the dog. Act like you are a real human being, and then you sit down on the couch for 9 hours nonstop. But when you take away that Sunday morning, then it's just like, oh, I don't have Sundays.
Well, by the way, you, like from my standpoint, we have the pregame show.
They're not thinking about us. They're not thinking about.
Not
but
thinking
here's
about
the
you?
thing. Here's the thing.
Nothing about like
What
that's not
Roger
nice.
Goodell's got to understand, he doesn't understand gamblers. And the reason why college football, like a college football Saturday, is more fun to bet on is because you have multiple time slots staggered because a lot of people, not naming names, myself, will load up on the first time slot and we'll be like, all right, if we can get some wins, then we're going to go to the next one.
Yeah.
So you have people betting throughout the day. with only the 2 time slots, listen, if he wants to bring me on as a special advisor
I
for
think that's
degenerate
good.
gamblers,
He
I'm
should.
more than welcome.
He should.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Because there is the potential for that whole new window of international games, another broadcast package to sell. I think that's where it's going to go.
He's not thinking about, what he's not thinking about? He's not thinking about marriages and relationships in America. Because listen, a couple of the 9:30 games you can get away with being like, oh yeah, they're playing in Germany. They've never done this before. Every fucking Sunday, if I have to be at 8:30 in the morning in Central Time being like, oh yeah, there's another game. He's pushing us to the brink.
Like they added the Thursday night. There's Monday night now. Like Friday night last year. So I can't tell you how many times I've said to my wife, "There's a game tonight." Like,
which I love. I'm just saying the PFT's right. We all have like 2 or 3 hours on Sunday to get our brains ready to go, fired up. Look at the board. You start a game early.
It's just so we can pretend to have a real life on Sunday. We don't have a real life.
Walk the dog.
Yeah, you get up. How many pets are going to die because Roger Goodell is going to insist on taking away all of our Sundays?
I say to my wife every Sunday morning, it's like, don't worry, I got the kids till 11. And I feel like a hero, and she sees right through it, and she's like, and then at 11?
You know what else I don't want? I don't want the Super Bowl in London.
No, that's America's that will be un-American. I actually... Schefter, you better get that stopped.
Well, if you succeed, Roger Goodell, you can be the man that gets it done, Big Cat.
Schefter, if there's a Super Bowl in London, we are going to be so fucking pissed. We won a war so that we don't have to play a Super Bowl in London. Okay? We're not doing this shit.
It's good. They're going to try to put it in, though, right? That's one of the next ones up.
They say there's no international Super Bowl on the horizon. I think at some point in our lifetimes, I think there'll be an international Super Bowl.
I hope he's right. Yeah,
but it doesn't sound like it's anytime soon.
Enough is
enough. But Goodell wants it so badly. All right, let's get some of the fun stuff. Schefty, New Year's Eve, 2024. You send off a very nice in memoriam tweet where you honor those that we lost in the year 2024. How many different edits did you go through to figure out where to put O.J. Simpson's name in the middle so that nobody saw that O.J. was in there?
I went back and forth on that one. I don't know what it is, but every year, I keep a file of people who lost their lives. Like, I'm just fascinated by it. And I just think that it's a way to pay respect to people who have lost their lives. And so I keep it running.
Do you have any notes on them?
No.
Okay.
No, I have it on my computer at home.
Yeah.
And I add like
a death file.
So
Virginia McCaskey's the first entrant in the death file for 2025. R.I.P.
She's not the first one in this year.
Oh, who was the first?
I think my dog, Benny.
Oh, you fucking asshole.
R.I.P. Benny.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sad to hear that.
That's such bullshit. You just did that to me.
Benny. Yeah. Blake, Stella, you understand, right?
Yeah. It's tough. How old was Benny?
Benny was 15 and...
Oh, that's awesome.
And...
So Benny actually in dog years was older than Virginia McCaskey.
Benny, he was close.
Pretty crazy.
We have an 18-year-old at home.
Wow.
Who's blind and deaf, and we have another 15-year-old that named Bailey. That 4 months ago the doctors recommended she couldn't walk anymore, and the doctors recommended we put her down, and she was so mentally alert and aware. My wife and I are like, we're not putting her down, and she's regained some of her ability to walk. She kind of walks like a crab now. Like,
awesome.
She craps in the house all the time.
Yeah.
She can't get outside. But she's our dog.
Stella had diagnosed with kidney disease when she was like 10 or 11, and one of the vets was like, yeah, she's probably got 6 months to a year, and we're 3 years past that. And it's like once you get to the 13, 14, you're like, this has been an awesome run. I know it's R.I.P. Benny.
Benny, on February 23rd last year, I was sitting at my kitchen table, and he came hobbling in. We're like, what the heck happened? So we watched the Ring camera, and he went to jump up the step in the back into our house, and he missed it, and he couldn't walk. So I took him to the vet. They did some x-rays. They didn't find anything. Took him to another vet. They did an MRI, and they came out, and they're like, he's got a torn ACL. Okay. And we also found cancer in his liver that spread to his lungs. And I said, I'll never forget it. The doctor called us. I was with my wife. We're hysterical. And we're like, how long? He goes, I'd say 2 to 3 months. And that was February 23rd.
Wow.
And he made it for almost a full year. The last conversation I had with Chris Mortensen, I called him because I was so distraught over Benny. I called him on a Thursday. Like I was broken up, and then Mort passed away on Saturday, or Sunday morning. You guys have dogs. You know.
No, I know.
Dogs are
the best.
They are the best. They are family. They're your children. We have 4 now. We'll always have dogs. Love dogs.
The one I always think about is the quote Peter King had, even though he still owes us money. He said that the only way to not feel the pain of a dog passing is to never own a dog, and what a sad life that would be. That's it. You can just not own a dog, and then but you don't get all the joy of it. R.I.P. Benny. A moment of silence for Benny.
Yeah, thank you.
Good dog.
So why did you have OJ in that?
Yeah, back to that. Let me ask you: would you have left him out?
Played football.
Good question. Now he did have 2,000 yards in the season. 14 games,
and he did die.
Separate the art from the artist. He did die. Now, on the other hand, he committed double murder. So I'm going to say
it's a toss-up.
He was found not guilty, though, of double murder. But he did do that.
Right.
But he blocked me on Twitter.
That's true.
So, yeah, no, I would leave him out.
You leave him out?
Because he wouldn't see it anyways. He's got to be blocked.
Maybe a separate tweet being like, and also not rest in peace.
You know what? The amazing thing is like, I'm like, the guy died.
He did die.
He had an accomplished life, good and bad.
Yes.
So he was, I didn't even think anything of it. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, controversy.
Well, no, it was just that it was hidden in the middle, which was the right move if you're going to have it.
Well, no, wait.
Was it chronological?
It's always sequential.
Oh.
Okay.
It's always sequential.
So what you should
have
have
done. I keep a running
done-
list. I take that list and I just post a list of. I try to.
Is it your computer
honor
does
the
it? Yeah.
I try to honor the people we lost.
Here's what you should have done, because this is a running bit with us. When like people say, J.J. Watt, such a better person than he is football player, and we're like, no, he's not. Like, he was one of the best football players ever. There's no way he's one of the best humans ever. That's no offense to him, but you should have just said, O.J. Simpson, significantly better football player than person.
Or I could have put O.J. Simpson asterisk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not dead.
Asterisk.
No,
right?
actually, no. His
Because I never asterisked anybody that lost their life in that year.
Yeah.
So I could have asterisked
Asterisk,
any
and
of the classifications that you want.
Maybe you do a separate post for the people who have died who were also murderers.
Yeah, right. The asterisk could also be like O.J. Simpson still like what it would be like his WAR is still like +1 because he took 2 lives.
KD ratio.
Yeah, is only that's something like that. We can workshop it if that comes.
You
up.
let me know. You know what? I'll send this upcoming year's.
Was Aaron Hernandez in the end of the year? Oh,
How long have we been doing this?
this death file is pretty fucked
what
up.
I used to be able to do it would you know what? Instagram you could post as many names as you want.
Right.
So Twitter, I think there was a limit.
Yeah.
And what year was Aaron Hernandez? It would have been roughly
2000,
12 years ago.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
know
a
that I
long time ago. Yeah,
I
you might
don't know
not
that I was
have.
posting names back then.
Would
so
have not had the death
we
file.
we avoided the issue back then.
The other thing I really wanted to bring up with you about some small missteps. I feel like it was a pretty clean year.
It was
for
a
you
pretty good
overall.
year. Yeah.
Were you illegally streaming the Jets Texans game on meth streams?
You know what's amazing about that
Good question, PFT.
is that I believe it was the Malachi Corley play, correct, where he fumbled.
Yep.
Okay. So I had this app where you could take the video, put it in there, and get the video. And in this particular play, I kept waiting for the NFL to post the video right away. And it took a long time. It wasn't posting. So I'm looking, I see the video.
On meth streams.
Wait, actually, I'm thinking of the sequence now. I used to do it that way. And then Field Yates, who now we're going to have to blame
We're
him.
throwing Field under the bus?
Yeah, absolutely going to throw Field. He said, all you have to, let me show you something. If you just press.
Yeah, it's very easy.
Press. Well, I'm trying to think which came
Not even
first.
press download, but just
I think,
press
you know
post
what?
video.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Field showed me after the fact. Okay.
This is a long answer for
Yeah,
just you
this-
watching meth streams.
This gets
Can you edit
stinky.
this
Are you in the
Can
chat?
you
Are you
edit-
in the meth streams
Can,
chat?
can you edit this answer and make it more succinct? I'm not used to speaking this much out of turn. Okay, now I have the sequence. So I see it. I'm waiting for the NFL to
Yeah,
post
give me
it.
your timeline.
It doesn't post it. I finally see somebody post it. I copy the link. I put it in the app. I get the video. I post it. And the next thing I know, I'm getting besieged with messages about meth.
Meth streams,
Yeah, meth streams.
Well, meth streams, it was a refuge for those of us that didn't want to pay for all the different packages you have to do. And now they
shut down.
They shut it down because you
I know.
blew it
People
up.
blame me for shutting down.
You made the block
I like
hot.
to think that journalists are crusaders, and we're here to right the wrongs in the world. And so there were a lot of
Well
people
said.
that were illegally streaming on meth, and they shouldn't be on meth anyway. Nobody should be on meth.
You ruined
and so
it. You took away a great
Stay off
website.
the meth.
within my powers, I took it to squash meth, which to this day I get pissed off messages in my DMs sometimes from people like,
you should.
You ruined meth.
it. Yeah,
You ruined
you're a rat.
But I feel
meth
like
great again.
I'm trying to help people out. They shouldn't
You're a
be
narc.
on meth.
Yeah, you're a
people
narc.
shouldn't be on meth. But the great part was the next day, I'm seeing people. They're like, Adam Schefter's tried to find ways around paying the $8.99 Amazon. Like, hey, can I tell you something? Can I tell you what my wife orders from Amazon like 5-6 times a day? $8.99. I mean, that is just laughable that I'm trying to find. And I am so far from being equipped or smart enough to figure out a go around to avoid like.
But really, it's Field Yates' fault.
Yeah, and
So
also
then afterwards, Field Yates said, "Let me just show you how to do something. All you do is press down the video. It credits the people." And then you can just post the video live. So Field deserves credit for that. I wish he had shown it to me before I could actually be the one responsible for taking down meth.
And he thinks the lady doth protest too much.
Yeah, I think you were doing some meth.
You were on meth.
You strike me as a meth guy. You don't sleep much.
I never knew any of this existed until after the fact when I'm getting all these text messages.
Yeah, this is a lot of. I think it's Breaking Bad'em. I think that's what it is. I think that you are. You got a problem. You got a meth problem.
You got a problem. Yeah, you got addicted to drugs. Do you think you're washed up because you didn't announce Punxsutawney Phil?
No,
you did last year.
I did do it.
Didn't do this year.
Oh,
you
yes, I
did?
did. Oh,
you were first.
Well, I can tell you this. I think that time-honored tradition is dead. I think I'm not doing it ever again.
Okay, so you are washed.
No.
Well, younger Adam Schefter would be like, if there's a scoop, I'm going to get it.
We evolve over time.
Okay.
We evolve, right?
Okay.
And so I've done it enough that there was a posting about this, like there was meth, like there is with seemingly many things that I do with my life, about how Adam Schefter posted about the Groundhog Day again. Like, I thought people kind of liked it. I think it's always interesting.
Well, I think it speaks to your addiction to scoops, and I like that about you. Where like, is there any scoop you wouldn't take? Because I kind of enjoy when you like drop a random NBA scoop or a rat sees his shadow in Western Pennsylvania. Like so there's someone out there being like, Shefty got me again. Like this was my.
I love information. Yeah. I love anything that's like, whoa, I didn't know this. Right? So anything like that, whatever it's related to, I'm in.
Love that about you.
But I think I'm getting out of the Punxsutawney Phil business.
Okay.
So you guys got the story first here. I think we're out of that business.
Okay.
We're not doing it anymore.
Breaking news.
Yeah,
Breaking news. Punxsutawney Phil will not be seeing a shadow from me anymore.
Yeah, I just feel like this is you getting out because other people were getting the scoops ahead of time. Like you got bullied out of the Groundhog space.
That's true too. Like
if you can't win, you quit. Is that what people are saying?
I just think that, like I said,
because that's actually a great thing
when
to
the
do
space is becoming crowded, right? And so when everybody's weighing in on Punxsutawney Phil, it's time for you to go find the next avenue to explore.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to talk more NFL right now?
Yeah.
Like what's going on in
Those
the
are
league?
all the fun topics you got from the controversial.
There's another one.
More.
All right. So when the Luka trade happened, you said that for an NFL comparison, this is like Lamar Jackson plus for Joe Burrow plus. And I thought that you made it seem like there were streaming services. You put like the little plus sign next to it. I don't know if that's a great comparison.
You know what? Here's what happened. You might be right. To me, and I am a big NBA fan, like it's a huge trade. Huge. And so you're talking about a veteran and a younger superstar, a guy who's won championships, a guy who I think will win championships. It's just a colossal trade. I was just trying to think of two stars. Probably a better analogy. Like literally I was asleep when Shams broke it. So like I'm thinking like, what is this like? I've never seen anything like this. I came up with that. Some people didn't like it. Okay. Again, upon further reflection, maybe it would be like Dak Prescott for Justin Herbert. Maybe that would be a better one. I don't know.
I think the Joe Burrow for Matt Stafford was a
Yeah, that's a good
was
one.
a decent one where it's like the age, like it's, you know,
But here's
Anthony
the
Davis
thing.
isn't bad.
It's just fun to wonder about it. Like, there's no right or wrong. Like, that was something that came to me as I woke up in bed, as I'm laying in bed. It was the first Saturday night where I said, I don't have to check on any injuries here for the first time
No, you
since
don't
Labor
sleep.
Day. And I dozed off I wake up, I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Like everybody else. And that's what came to me at that moment. Sorry it offended as many people as it did.
No, thank you for your
Yes,
apology.
thank you. Appreciate
Not
your
accepted,
apology.
but I appreciate the fact
All
that you
right.
said it. We'll get back to Adam Schefter in a second. He's brought to you by Chevy. Our great friends at Chevy would like you to know that they have packed more capability into the Silverado Trail Boss. More capability than ever. You can pack more fun into your weekend with the Silverado Trail Boss. Have yourself a Friday, Saturday, Sunday with a truck that says no to nothing. Tailgates, spontaneous camping trips, DIY projects, bring it on. What about a cross-country road trip? Silverado was the perfect ride for last year's Grit Week out west, and recently they helped us give fullbacks the recognition that they deserve with the Lowman Award. Shout out Tyler Crow, Boise State. Well, the Silverado Trail Boss is built like a fullback. We're talking 495 foot-pounds of torque. Hold on to those sodas, Max. Plus, the Trail Boss gives you an extra 2-inch lift, so maybe Hank can finally dunk. And they bring the grit. They pair it with all the latest truck tech inside and out. The result is a truck that can do it all, then show up Monday with a story to tell. So learn more about the Silverado Trail Boss at Chevy.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Schefter's also brought to you by Uber Eats. It's winter. You can now get almost anything you need for the coldest months of the year delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a snowplow delivered, but you can get snow peas delivered. Sunshine, that's a no. But a bottle of wine, that's a yes. Snow Angel, no. Angel hair pasta, yes. Uber Eats can get you that along with a side of garlic bread and creme brulee to top it all off. Get almost anything for your winter delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See the app for details. Now here's more Adam Schefter.
One other fun one. Do you think you should get any credit for dunking on Doug Gottlieb? Because that's like, this isn't a height joke. That's like dunking on like a 5-foot rim. Everyone can dunk on Doug Gottlieb.
You know, he texted me after the fact, and when he texted after that, I started rooting for Wisconsin Green Bay. It was a rough year rooting for them.
No, they're bad. They're really bad.
It's a rough year. But yeah, and I even debated, actually, I tried to go to one of the games, and I went through Chicago. The good part was it was like before the Super Bowl. And so I was going to Wisconsin Green Bay. I came through Chicago, and I didn't have any clothes. The airlines lost my bag. So I was going through Chicago, and I found these 2 duffel bags and was able to drive by, pick up a couple of duffel bags, got a bunch of clothes, got some great jump shoots right now. Worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
Rooting for Wisconsin Green Bay.
You did get him good. He said it was a story about Sacramento State raising $50 million in NIL.
By the way, like, the athletic director told me that.
Right.
So, like, he comes, like, what he responds to that was
But
just,
is the athletic director telling you that? Is that not like a stripper saying, like, I really like you, Adam?
maybe so.
Yeah.
But the athletic director said
He
it.
did say it.
He's
So
the athletic director. He said we had $50 million, which people were like, hey, that's not right. Okay, take it up with him.
Yeah, take it up with him. Yeah, so Gottlieb said, Jesus, Schefty, edit what agents tell you, 0.0% chance Sacramento
What
State
does an
has
agent have to do with
50
that?
million
What agent at
NIL.
Sacramento State
Yeah.
is telling you that?
And then you said, and Jesus, Doug, a 7-game losing streak in last place in the Horizon League, less time on social media, more time in the gym. Got him.
By the way, like,
And then they went on to lose like 14 more games in a row. You should have updated
20.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I try never to clap back. I don't like that. But when people post factually incorrect information, like clean up with the agent, I'm like, no, I was talking to the athletic director.
Right.
This is what he said.
Right.
What do you want me to do? Like,
Right.
okay.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, source off. I think you won the source off, but Big Cat's kind of right. Like,
Yeah.
Doug Gottlieb, come on. Like, take it easy on
Yeah,
him.
everyone. It's T-ball.
He's been through enough in his
Yeah,
life.
we can all take hacks at Doug Gottlieb.
We got any news breaking right now?
What do you got?
Yeah.
Don't do this to us. Don't fake us.
You remember when you faked me out on
Actually,
Lamar
big
Jackson?
news.
Yeah?
Yeah. ESPN has re-signed Laura Rutledge to a big deal.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
huge.
Congrats,
Okay.
Laura.
Yeah. You didn't
That's
get that
huge.
scoop?
I didn't get that scoop.
That's huge.
But you know what? Laura Rutledge is a rock star.
Yeah, we like Laura.
She's fantastic.
Yes.
She deserves everything she gets, and I'm very happy to see that.
Agreed.
All right, so I was
Disappointed I didn't get it, but that's the way it goes.
I was wondering if that was going to be Matt Stafford news. Where gun to your head, Matt Stafford's next team.
Max.
Oh, I don't
Names.
like. Oh, first I
Get
don't
the
like
guns
have
up.
guns pointed at my head.
A lot of guns. Pug. Get the guns up. Che.
Where's he playing, Adam?
Makes me very nervous.
Where's he playing, Adam?
Che is refusing to put the guns to Schefter's head. I said Che, and he just
Thank
goes,
you.
no,
Thank you.
no way.
God
Where's he
damn.
playing?
I really don't know right now because it's kind of a coin flip kind of thing.
Psh, you're dead.
Bad
That was a bad answer. What, like, so we believe that he's probably going to either the Giants or probably re-sign with the Rams.
Those are the two plausible scenarios.
Okay.
I think the Raiders are out there lurking as well.
Okay.
I think those would be the three scenarios that make sense. And honestly, I think it changes on a fairly regular basis. So that's why I don't want to predict, hey, he's going to re-sign with the Rams, and all of a sudden, lo and behold, there he is, traded to one of those other two teams, or he's going to be traded, and lo and behold, he decides to go back to the, because these things change all the time.
Right. All right. So what about Aaron Rodgers? Is he going to play football? Let's start
I think
there.
I think he's going to play.
He's going to play.
And I think he has something to prove in his own mind, and I think there's going to be a chip on his shoulder, and we know what that guy's like with a chip on his shoulder. And I think you have to wait for Matthew Stafford to see where he goes before we could figure out where Aaron Rodgers is going to go, because I think once Matthew Stafford's situation is settled, then Aaron Rodgers gets to follow us.
Okay, so if Rodgers, if Stafford signs with the Giants, it sounds like you're saying Rodgers to the Rams.
I definitely could see that happening.
Okay, so let me throw out a couple team names. You can be like, no chance, or yeah, that could happen. So Rams, you said that you could see that happening. Raiders?
I could see it happening.
Steelers?
I could see it happening.
Titans?
Don't see that happening.
Colts?
Don't see that happening.
Browns?
Don't see that happening.
Okay.
Giants?
Could see that happening.
Okay.
Interesting.
So I give you 4 teams that I could see, right?
Yeah, but he's definitely playing.
I believe he's going to play, yes.
Yeah, and Kelsey's coming back, right?
He is training and preparing as if he's going to come back. Well, you never know. What if Marvel Studios comes and says, hey, we want you,
We need more Kelsey.
Yeah, but he's preparing and planning to come back. Plans change. But yes, they think he's going to be back. I think he thinks he's going to be back, but let's see what happens.
I'm not a comic book guy. Is there a role that Marvel would be looking at and be like, this is Kelsey?
Well, I could see him doing, he's such a big personality and so charismatic, he could do anything he wants.
Yeah.
So if they want to turn him into some movie star,
Right.
they want to turn him into the next Rock.
Yeah.
Couldn't you see that? I could see that with him.
Yeah, I would like to see him retire and try to play on a level playing field podcasting wise with us, because we're not in the NFL. We retired long ago.
Their podcast, they make a lot more money than you guys, right? I know you guys done well, but they've really done very well.
Well, because
Thanks,
they sold out.
Appreciate it, dude.
They're corporate stooges owned by Jeff Bezos.
Damn.
Not us.
Hey, as
The
somebody,
problem is I don't know who we could say that about for Shefty.
as
Who
somebody,
makes more money than
Stephen
him
A.
in-
Smith?
in the inside? Yeah, Stephen A. Smith. Oh yeah,
But no,
he
but we're
makes
talking
significant.
podcasting.
Pat McAfee makes significantly more money than you, right, Shefty?
absolutely,
Yeah.
and deserves to, and I'm okay with that. But for my podcast, I've never made any money from my podcast.
Yeah.
So you guys
because
have
you changed the name.
You guys have made far more money than I have in my podcast.
We've made a very good living. But
Congratulations.
yeah, they've done well.
When you turn 40 years old,
Yeah,
to hit it the way you guys have,
yeah. Still
That's
got
pretty
some
good.
years left in us.
It's pretty good, yeah.
you might not have any jumpsuits, but you've had a lot of success.
Well, they all get stolen. Yeah, no, it's been a wild ride, but the Kelseys, they do need to quit it with the antics and just get on as two normal guys doing a podcast.
Yeah,
Let's see if they can hang.
do it. I don't know if they can.
I don't think they can.
I mean, the level of success that they've achieved with that is incredible.
All right, let's not. I mean, we're higher.
So
we,
you
we
too.
get
You
higher
too. You
numbers
too,
than
guys.
that. Let's not fucking
It's
go
fine.
crazy.
It's fine. Yeah, I mean, if
They
you
go to
date
the
the most famous person in the world, it's pretty easy to get your listens
and
up.
they launched a podcast. He started dating Taylor Swift, and they played in a Super Bowl against each other. Try to do that on a pick us up 1-on-1 in the middle of August when we're debating, the color of yellow cheese or of American cheese.
Yeah.
See us there.
Yeah, they couldn't pull that off. They're playing from the red tees.
Yeah.
We're back on the championship tees.
Exactly.
And you guys have played like champions.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
have played
Appreciate
like champions.
it.
Thank you,
All
Schefter.
right, so
I've
Rodgers.
seen PFT drive 400 yards.
Yeah, he's got it.
You have seen that?
Yeah.
Also, thank you for the Christmas presents or for the holiday presents.
Incredible. Yep.
Yep.
Incredible. As
Yep.
always.
Nice
I don't know how you
blankets.
get the blankets to smell nice too.
We do that. We take care of
Yeah.
it.
It's, like it comes
Full
out,
service.
It smells nice.
It's Blake's favorite place to lay. It's my dog's
that's
favorite
good.
blanket.
Hey,
yeah.
you know what? My wife got those blankets like in dog beds. Like they're unbelievable.
They're very soft. Yeah.
What so we did Rodgers, we did Stafford. What about Sam Darnold?
I think when I see Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, their GM of the Vikings, talk the way he did in such glowing terms about J.J. McCarthy, to me that says like, okay, they're setting it up for J.J. to be the guy.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. I think that they would like Sam back, but they like Sam back at their number. And so again, where's Matthew Stafford going? Is he going to the Rams? Is he going to the Raiders? Is he going to the Giants? Because I think if he doesn't wind up with the Raiders, I think Sam Darnold potentially could come into play with the Raiders. I could see that happening. You need the domino of Stafford to fall to begin to place the other quarterback chess pieces. But Sam Darnold, I think he'll do well. But to me, it feels like Minnesota is shaping up to be J.J. McCarthy, and we'll see what happens here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
All right, interesting. What about Cleveland? What can Cleveland do at the quarterback position?
To me, they have to draft a quarterback with their first pick, which I assume to be 2, but maybe they go up to 1 to lock it in. The guy they want, they're not very far from the top, and Tennessee could go back 1 slot and get basically whoever they want if they're not going to go quarterback. And the Titans are still going through their process. They've spoken to teams and told them, we're interested in talking, but we need to get through our process first, go through the combine, go through pro days before they derive their decision about what they're going to do at 1. Cleveland, to me, I predict it'll be a quarterback, period. I think they have to do a quarterback. They're that high. They're that financially strapped with Deshaun Watson. There's that much of a need. You need something to uplift the spirits of the organization. I believe the Browns go quarterback.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. What's a story that you've got, maybe not a prediction, but like something that we don't see coming? You're usually good at that. Or like something to just, hey, here's a tickler file. This guy might, not play forever, or this guy, this coach. Anything on the horizon? A league rule? Oh, is the tush push going to get banned?
I don't think so. Like,
Okay.
how do you ban that?
It seems like sore
football.
loser stuff.
It just seems like, okay, so you can't push the tush. By the way, their success rate in that play is, 92%. So if we take away, you can't touch his tush.
Yep.
And Jalen Hurts is still sneaking behind Mekhi Becton and Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson. Like, don't you think he's still going to succeed on that play 75% of the time?
Yep.
So I don't know where to. And by the way, what about the plays where the running back's in the open field and all of a sudden people are pushing him? What about the plays where the wide receiver, tight end catches a pass and they're being? Oh, that's not allowed either, right? Because we're not allowed to push anybody anymore. Is the quarterback sneak now banned?
Yeah.
Or it's just banned where you just can't touch the guy? I've heard more opposition to it this week than I thought I would, but I don't know that there's a way to legislate it out of the game right now.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. So, what's going on with Tom Brady and the Raiders? How active is he?
He's been active.
Is he like calling shots out there?
His voice is being heard. I don't know that he's the final guy, but I think that Tom has a lot to say there, and he should. He's smart, hardworking, bright guy. I think that they brought him in for a reason, and he's been involved in all this.
Do we care at all about the ethics of Tom Brady owning a team and then also participating?
I think it's crazy.
Okay.
So by the way, so he can't go to practice to watch what the Chiefs are doing when he could watch it on tape. You don't think that Tom Brady is smart to go back and look at the tape? If they are in production meetings, I would hope and think that if you are uncomfortable, if you are the Chiefs or Broncos or Chargers and you're uncomfortable that Tom Brady is broadcast, then don't give all the information. Withhold what you need to withhold.
Right.
Or say, Tom, you can't come in the meeting.
Right.
Like, Tom's still, they're not hiring him to be, I'm a reporter. Tom Brady has played this game at a high level for a long time. They hired him because he has done things, seen things, been through things that none of us ever have. That's what he's supposed to be bringing to the game. So if they never allow him in a production meeting and never allow him in a practice, to me, that doesn't matter in the way that Tom Brady's doing his job.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right. So we talked about the 18 game. Is there ever going to be a chance for a double bye? Because I feel like, or is that no chance? 2 buys
I think that'd be a part
with
of
the
it.
18 games.
By the way, if I were the NFL or the NFLPA and I'm coming to the players, we know how much the players don't want to play an 18th game, and I understand why that would be the case. But if I'm asking you, you guys played in the NFL, and I said to you, would you rather have a 17-game season with 1 bye or an 18-game season with 2 buys? What would you rather have?
I'd rather have the 2 buys.
2 buys, but also I would play for free
I would too.
because I care so much.
you
about
would.
the game. I love the game.
I'd actually pay them.
Well,
I'd pay them to be able to play.
But I think the double buy. I like the double buy.
double
Yeah.
bye, 18 games, and I know you guys are doing it for free, but there's going to be a lot more money. A lot more
teammates.
money involved.
Yeah.
Because we can now sell the extra TV package, right? So, okay, I'll take the extra buy, the extra money, and by the way, football could always do load management like basketball.
No, we don't
That
want
would
to.
suck.
We don't want to.
I've always thought that the solution to the double bye is there just needs to be a universal bye where college football has their playoff now. So whatever it is, early December, every team's on a bye, and then you have college football games on that Sunday. And also you give everyone a chance to do their Christmas shopping, like, check in, be like the universal bye, a check in with everyone, kind of reset the whole world for the home stretch.
Well, it's sort of like the NBA does for the All-Star break. The sport shuts down for basically a week.
Yeah.
Right?
Including the game, yeah.
I think you're talking about taking that. I don't like when the NBA does that. I kind of like, as a guy who plays fantasy basketball and loves it, I kind of miss it.
How'd you do this year? Or how are you doing?
I'm in second place, but my team, it's kind of ham and egg.
How'd you do in fantasy football this year?
I lost in the opening round of the playoffs. I had a great regular season.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Are you interested in potentially taking on another team, not as a day-to-day manager, but more in a ownership role where you would oversee the day-to-day manager?
As in fantasy?
Yeah.
I think I'm as much fantasied out as I can be. Like, I allow it to consume my thoughts and dictate my moods.
But again, you wouldn't have to.
You
would just have to manage a person managing the team.
I know. I don't want to do that. Like
Jerry O'Connell is the person we're talking about. We're looking to fill a role where he needs someone kind of holding his hand.
It's almost like so he knows that somebody's watching him.
Right.
We really want to strike fear in him.
I do that with a lot of people already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of people that reach out, like constantly texting.
Yeah, we would like to. We want to figure out a way to add more bureaucratic red tape to our fantasy operation, where we just have multiple layers of managers. Would you be interested?
Probably not.
Slot you into that middle management role.
I'm not. I don't like middle managing. I don't like bureaucracy.
I kind of want to do this just because Jerry would text Schefter nonstop.
Can we just say?
God.
Listen.
I got certain guys that already do that.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. What if we just? It requires no work on your part. You just accept the title.
As in title only?
Yes, in title only.
In title only, fine.
Governing owner.
Okay.
That's fine.
Governing owner of Jerry O'Connell. We're the principal owners of the operation, so we're atop of you.
You're fronting it.
We're on top of you. We front the money, but you will be the governing owner in name only of Jerry O'Connell.
Figure it. And is there anything for me to gain?
Like immortality if we win,
and also just power.
A spot on the wall of fame next to my
if we win,
cell
you
phone.
will. Listen, I'll tell you this: if we win the fantasy league this year, when we do the trophy presentation, PFT and I obviously will hold the trophy first. You will hold the trophy second, then Jerry O'Connell.
That sounds fair to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, really, what you get out of it, aside from the trophy, potentially, is you get power over Jerry O'Connell, which means that you can fire him
right
at any given time. You don't have to do anything, but if you wake up one day and you're like, it's time for a change, we got to shake things up in the locker room.
And that
you
way,
can do that.
When Jerry gets mad at us that he got fired, we're like, it wasn't us, it was Schefter.
Yeah, blame me.
Yeah.
Everybody else does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but speaking of that, how mad are Chiefs fans at you?
You know, I didn't get that either. Like,
so
again,
explain what happened, how it all went down.
The story was, like, they're expanding replay assist to include slides. I remember writing the story and being like, okay, well, what does this mean? Like the slide of Patrick Mahomes. It wasn't directed. I don't care. Like, I don't feel like there's some vendetta. I wasn't trying to stir up anything. And all of a sudden, I got people going nuts about that. That was not my intent. I didn't like that it became that, and it was unfortunate, the whole thing.
What fan base hates you the most?
It depends on the time. There was a time when, I mean, we could go through this. There have been various fan bases that have hated me at various points.
What's the worst it's gotten with a fan base?
Again, 2 weeks ago it would have been Kansas City.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers, when he was the Packers, it was Green Bay. Like,
It's just whatever's in the news.
it's whatever in the news at that time.
The Jets? Did the Jets hate you this year?
I don't think so. Maybe unless you know something I don't.
No,
No,
Memes is shaking
Memes,
his head.
he's clean,
No, he's
Memes?
clean. He's
I'm
not
clean-
a
I'm clean
Florio.
there? Yeah. It's just, you're not going to be able to please all the people all the time.
Sometimes when you deliver bad news, they do shoot the messenger.
I
always shoot the
I try to
messenger.
deliver literally black and white factual information. O.J. Simpson died. Right? Fact.
He
Yes.
did. He died.
That's it.
You got it right. You got the story right. All right. So, what about this name for potentially being on the move? Max Crosby.
I don't think they'll part ways with a guy like that means so much to their city, that's so important, especially with the way that Mark Davis has felt about him. But we've got a whole slew of defensive ends here who are going to get paid this offseason. Like you got TJ Watt, maybe Myles Garrett, Cleveland or somewhere else. You've got Trey Hendrickson, who's got to get paid. There are a whole host of defensive ends that are going to get paid a lot of money. So I'm sure the Raiders are preparing to sign Max Crosby to a lucrative extension that he deserves. But if they're not, then they should look to deal him. And by the way, they're rebuilding, although I'm sure they don't feel that way. He would be the most valuable chip that they have. That guy's an unbelievable player.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. One more gun to your head.
Oh, goddamn.
Get him up.
Next
I
quarterback.
feel like I'm in Landman.
Get him up. Next quarterback, Pittsburgh
Oh, I
Steelers.
love sound guy. Yes. Get in there.
Yeah.
Fuck yes. Get him, Memes. Get it. Scan the room. We got it.
Do I have to answer with my hands up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers next quarterback.
Steelers next quarterback?
Yeah.
Russell Wilson or Justin Fields?
No
Okay.
way.
All right. They're staying put.
Really?
One of them will be back.
All right.
One of them I expect to be back.
Which one?
Russell Wilson!
Okay. Sussy for Russie.
Russie's back.
We're sussying for Russie. Okay.
What about Jameis Winston? What's the market expected to look like for Jameis Winston?
I'd want him on my team.
Yep.
7 days is 7 days.
Yep.
I don't know where he's going to wind up going, but boy, that guy he's fun.
He makes somebody very happy.
He's a lot of fun. All right. I got one last question. This has been so much fun. We love having you on, Schefter, every year. And I'm excited to get that phone. We need that phone. Roback question, RHOBACK.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-Zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, Roback.com, promo code TAKE. What is Schefter doing for vacation this year? You deserve a vacation. What are you doing? When is it happening? What are you doing? No vacation? Come on.
We have zero planned.
Come on.
You know, it's always nice after the draft when you enter a quiet period. There always is going to be something. And as I say with the NFL, whatever happens on May 4th or May 18th, the schedule release, that becomes the biggest thing.
Yep.
And when there's nothing else to talk about, and there's that one thing that happens that day, some player signs an extension, some player gets cut, some player gets in trouble, like that becomes the biggest thing because that's how everything is with the NFL. And there's always something. And I just feel like the job is, even at that time, you're always on alert.
Right.
You're always on guard. So vacation, I will say this. I'd love to go on a vacation where you could disconnect and turn everything off. I haven't done that in my adult life.
Why don't you do it? We'll handle it. We'll just take your phone.
By the way, if I give you the phone,
then
we could give you the active phone next to the
we'll just
phone.
handle it.
We wouldn't mess up your career too bad.
No, just a little bit.
But no vacations planned.
Okay.
Zero. My kids have been after me. My kids really want to go to Italy. Really.
Take them to Italy.
You know what? I was talking to this guy last summer, and he's like, he was turning 70. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm renting a house in Italy for a month, and I'm inviting my friends and some of my family. Anybody who wants to come can come. Anybody who doesn't have to. And I thought, that's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
My kids want to do that.
Would we get the invite?
Well, in a couple of years, I'll be 60,
Yeah.
58.
Yeah.
So you guys,
We'd get the invite?
If we do that, if
I
I
can't make it, but I would love the invite.
I would stop in.
Yeah.
by the way, like
I'd stay the entire month. You
there,
have to
there,
kick
there is
me
a
out.
good time for this.
Yeah.
There's a good time for this. Like my daughter will be finishing high school.
Yeah.
My ESPN contract will be up. I'll be 60. Mm-hmm. So maybe we just
Yeah.
shut it all out.
Yeah.
And
Did,
go.
did you think about that at all with Woj retiring? Like that had to have crossed your mind.
Listen, I have so much respect for what he did. My wife would never let me do the same thing.
Okay. Okay.
Become athletic director at Michigan.
That day when he did that, I got 20 texts. Like, are you taking the GM job at Michigan? There's a whole new industry now.
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole new world out there of GMs in college. And listen, I love Woj. He's one of my dear friends. When we talked about him doing this, I did my best initially to say, hey, just think of the other side. Think about this. Do one more year. He was done.
Good for him. I
was
respect
done.
the hell.
Oh, yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's and people are like, oh, you think a couple of people like, you think Woj was sorry he wasn't working for the Luka trade? I'm like, Woj couldn't give a crap.
That's awesome.
That he didn't work on the Luka.
My dream
trade.
scenario is that he got the text for the Luka trade. He got it on his phone. He looked at it and he goes, "That's the old me." Closed his phone, threw it away, threw it into the ocean.
Oh, I forgot. Che, you got some questions?
Also, Schefter, you look good for 58.
Yeah, you do.
Thank you.
You might be daddy. Is Schefter daddy?
Schefter might be daddy.
What does that mean?
You're when you know it, you're daddy.
Well, as you age, like you're gonna get the first 60 years of being someone who's maybe not tall, I would say.
Yeah.
Might not be the best, but then as you get older, like small dogs live a long time.
Yeah, and you do shrink over time,
Right. So
I don't have much to shrink from.
You'll be like in our back pocket in 20 years, carrying you around.
Before Che, Memes does have one question for you that I'll ask. Are the Jets going to trade up to 1 or 2?
What are they, 7?
Are they 7 Memes? Yeah, they're 7.
I don't see them going to 1 or 2. They got
Okay.
holes to address, and that it would take a lot to get up there. Look, could it happen? Sure. I haven't heard that today. We'll see what happens.
Memes is happy.
Okay.
Do you want them to trade up to 1?
No.
He just had you kill a bunch of rumors, though.
Yeah,
Apparently,
squashed
there's
them.
tons of rumors.
So I do. I kill meth. I kill rumors.
rumors, yeah.
And O.J. Simpson.
And O.J. Simpson.
Okay, Che.
This
Killed
is
a lot of people today.
That's actually the perfect segue. We're taping this
to
Wednesday.
Mike
This is not going to be a perfect segue.
We're taping this Wednesday before the on-field drill starts. There are 4 guys kind of at the top of the draft: Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, Shador Sanders. Is there anyone that's either here or sitting at home doing pro day soon that could see a Trayvon Walker type rise to the top pick?
You know what? I'm not smart enough to answer that right now.
Okay.
Because I'm just not living in that world. Field Yates would answer that question and be spot on, but I couldn't answer that today because
Okay.
I just don't know.
All right, that's fair. I'll replace it with this question.
First question.
It was a good segue.
Yeah, great segue, but
Bad question.
bad question.
We talked
okay.
a lot. We talked a lot about quarterbacks. Is there any world where Daniel Jones is a starting quarterback?
Yes.
Good
this
question.
September.
Yes.
Good question.
Yes. In fact, I've actually had his name come up with head coaches I've spoken to.
Whoa.
So
Good question,
I'm
Jay.
like, oh, so what if you can't get that Daniel Jones? Like I've heard the name, so I think there's a market for him. I also think that if Sam Darnold leaves, Minnesota would be a natural spot for him to be, and I think that's part of the reason the Vikings brought him in. But is there a scenario where he could wind up as a starter? I think there is.
Can you tell us what division those coaches have been in?
It was one coach.
It was one coach.
It was just one coach. Just brought it up.
And it was that team.
It was what team?
Was it the Vikings?
No.
What conference?
What color?
What conference was the team?
Conference and color.
It was in the National Football League.
Okay. All right. You got one more question, Che?
Yes. So we just had, I don't know what day these are airing, but Liam Cohen was in yesterday. So James Gladstone.
By the way, when Liam was in here,
I gave him the business.
did you get after him at all or nothing?
Oh, yes.
He didn't give him the business.
What you say to him?
How dare he? I did not like the way that went down personally. We kind of
Your feelings were hurt.
We made amends. My feelings were hurt.
He got his feelings hurt.
But I understand
his
it.
feelings.
The pay difference is astronomical, and he wanted to be a head coach, and I get it.
Yeah, listen, we all agree with that. Like, you get only so many chances to get one of those jobs. 1 of 32.
Yep.
A salary of 8 figures.
Mm-hmm.
You can't turn that down, right? But everyone went over. You just told him, I'm going to talk to him.
Mm-hmm. Right. So James Gladstone, they hired this week, actually, 34 years old in Jacksonville. Who's to say what's going to happen if he succeeds, and if Liam Cohen succeeds? How does this do you see this having a giant ripple effect in the NFL front offices? Like, are they going to start hiring young guys now? Because he's a mainly analytical guy, I understand.
He might have a Jaguars obsession.
Well, when I heard him talk, and you guys met him, I still haven't spoken with him in person. I've texted him, but like, he's talking about revolutionize. He uses words that I haven't heard GMs use.
Yeah.
And very new age, very 2025. I think that if whatever he does works, I think it would open up the idea that people would be more open to hiring younger GMs. Just like when Sean McVay came in, he was hired at the age of 31, I believe. And all of a sudden it became acceptable to hire a very young head coach. But there's only so many Sean McVays. And if James Gladstone succeeds, there aren't that many people that age who can step into a job of that magnitude and handle it as adeptly as he would if he's succeeding like you're saying he's going to.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Good question.
It's like
you have one more?
He's like Doge, but for a front office.
Yeah. 2 guys rumored to be on the move. Would just love to hear potential landing spots. You could see these guys. Khalil Mack, Deebo Samuel.
Khalil Mack, the Chargers are definitely trying to get back. And the interesting part about that is I think after everybody saw the success that the Eagles had in the Super Bowl, and with the salary cap taking a bigger jump than people expected, the pass rushers like Josh Sweat, like Khalil Mack, even Milton Williams inside, and I'm going to see if I say his name right, Osa Igado, the guy in Dallas.
Odigizua.
Odigizua.
Osa Odigizua. Yes.
Osa Odigizua. I got that right. Though I think these guys are going to get more money than people are expecting, and I think the Eagles help make the pass rushers more money in this free agent market. The Chargers are going to work to get back Khalil Mack. There's a question about whether they'll be able to keep Joey Bosa. They were in this spot last year. I can't imagine you're going to lose both guys. We'll see how that works out with them. And then Deebo. Like I said, the one thing I could say on Deebo is I think there's been more interest than people thought there would be. And I know that I've seen it out there that the Niners would have to release him because of the cap situation and designate him a June 1. I don't agree with that. I think they're going to be able to trade him.
Okay.
Interesting.
Good job, Trey.
Thanks.
Cooper Kupp.
I think unbelievable wide receiver, aging, older right now.
He's filling time.
No. I could see. I'm trying to think how I want to answer this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're filling time.
I could see
cool name to say.
Good beard.
Did that Breakfast Club with Matthew Stafford.
Really hard worker.
Great story.
Yeah.
White.
Yeah. White.
He is.
Very white.
He is.
Yeah. Good at basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else can you say about the guy?
Yeah.
He could be on the move. He's going to be on the move.
Triple Crown.
Again, I think the Rams are going to hope to trade him. I think the salary and the numbers are an issue. And I think that's why I'm kind of parsing my words, because the question is somebody going to trade for that contract? They're going to redo it. What's the contract going to look at? I think there are absolutely teams out there that want Cooper Kupp. The question is, how much are those teams willing to spend on Cooper Kupp?
Right.
And that's really the issue here right now. He's going to have a new home.
Yeah.
He's going to have suitors. He's going to have interest. The question is, what is the price going to be?
Okay. Can you just do something to get me and Big Cat excited and just tell us what players are fun transactions the Bears and the Commanders should find themselves involved in the next week? Like, who are the names that we should be looking at?
Offensive line.
Well, Bears definitely offensive.
Okay.
They're going to. They're definitely going to upgrade the offensive line.
Done.
Don't know who that's going to be just yet, but they're going to be upgrading there. The Commanders, like, they're in a spot where they can go strengthen this. They're going to be looking for a pass rusher. They're going to be looking for a wide receiver. I think that they'll find a way to add both at some point here. And Jaden Daniels, wow.
Special.
He good. Let me tell you something.
He's so good.
And the amazing thing is, like, as I always say, people in this business, people get it and people don't get it. Jaden Daniels gets it.
He gets it. Big time.
He gets it. Like, that guy is on it. I happened to be around him at the Super Bowl, came over, taught, like, I was really impressed with that guy.
He gets it.
Special.
All right, he is.
Schefter.
PFT's set next 14 to 16 years.
14 to 16
Off the
years.
window.
He had one great season.
I love
Let's
that.
pump the brakes just a
love
little
that.
bit.
You know what?
I do love him. I am in love with him.
I go back to what somebody in that organization told me. It was like 10, 12 games into the season. I go, this quarterback, they said, this quarterback covers up a lot of the sins of the organization.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, not everybody's at his level, and the rest of the team is okay.
Yeah.
It's
There's
decent,
some holes, though.
It's a decent team, but the quarterback is exceptional, and because he's exceptional, everybody else gets elevated.
Great quarterback, yeah.
Right? That's
All
the
right,
deal.
Schefter, you're the best. Thank you as always.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
You had a good year.
We had a good year.
That-
not
cool.
a lot of
There
problems.
was some stuff. We had some stuff.
Yeah, we had some stuff, but not a lot of problems. And I do want that phone. We need that phone.
Done. It's it's on the Wall of Fame.
Yes.
The first Wall of Fame that I'm ever going to be on.
Yes,
Other than my
yes.
high school Wall of Fame.
Yes.
I'm in.
I love
Sign
it.
me up.
All right. Thanks so much, Schefter.
Thank you, guys.
Adam Schefter was also brought to you by our great friends over at Sleep Number. Listen up. We're talking about something that's just as important as game day, sleep. Did you know that 80% of NFL players have a Sleep Number smart bed? That's right. These guys aren't just elite athletes on the field. They're recovering like pros off it, too. Here's why. The Sleep Number bed is all about customization. It's a smart bed. You can adjust the firmness on each side so couples don't have to fight over who gets the better setup. It's like having a referee for your bed, but no whistles, just comfort. And if you're waking up tired or feeling like you got tackled in your sleep, this bed's got your back. Literally. It contours to your body. It even adjusts to keep you comfortable all night long. Plus the new Climate Cool feature, total game changer. Keeps you up to 15 degrees cooler, so no more sweaty nights tossing and turning. The bottom line is, if it's good enough for the NFL, you got to check it out. Right now, you can save 50% off the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Head to a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com to learn more. Sleep Number, because your best sleep is your best performance. Go get it.
Okay. By the way, breaking news. Breaking news. NBA Central is back.
We did it.
We did it. In the time it took, we did it. Also, you've now listened to the Adam Schefter interview, and we have not hired him, but he is being considered in name only to be on top of Jerry O'Connell in the organization chart. In name only.
In terms of just the ability to fire Jerry.
Jerry would not have to talk to Adam, which he should. If he was smart, he would use him as a resource. So it would be in name only.
Is he a direct report to Adam Schefter?
I think he would have to direct report.
Okay.
Jerry doesn't realize having Schefter be part of the organization would be incredible. Jerry has no problem texting anyone at any time. He could text
He wants to
Schefter.
deal with the kid, it sounds like.
Yeah.
But Schefter,
But that
that's
came
not
out of nowhere.
necessarily- Yeah, that's not necessarily on the table.
Right.
The kids aren't involved in this.
Exactly. Okay. Fyre Fest of the week. Hank.
Not much this week. More of just a follow up from last week. I got by the toll scam.
Yeah,
which has proceeded to essentially happen nationwide across the country.
I got it
And
texted to me.
I have gotten some of them. Like, it seems like everyone in the world has got sent this text, because I've gotten sent, the text from a million people being like, look, I got it too. A lot of AWLs being like, I got it too. But some of them are coming from Hotmail accounts, which makes mine look so much worse, because it's like, how did you get got by a Hotmail account? Mine was texted from a real phone number, at least.
You got by a much more believable text.
What was the phone number? Because I got the text.
It was kind of a random phone number.
I saw it and I was like, I cannot believe Hank fell for this.
It was in the middle. It was in the middle of the day. I was just kind of like, we had 20 minutes downtime, and I got the text, and I just was like, all right, let me take care of business real quick. It was still bad, but it wasn't a Hotmail account. But the amount of people that have gotten texts from Hotmail accounts and are hitting me up being like, you idiot, how could you ever get got by this, It's a tough look.
Yeah, I got one just the other day from area code +63.
Yes, that's where you should have. That was mine as well. +63, Hank. Come on.
But I thought that might have been like an automated thing. I don't know.
I was getting this for like I wasn't here last week when you were talking about it.
Oh, where were you?
I was on vacation.
Oh.
I was getting this for like months straight from this same toll thing, and then the weirdest part was, at one point, like a real person was texting my brother, being like, "Hey, is your brother this person? I keep getting toll things sent to my house. Please pay now."
Damn.
Like, or like, this is getting really annoying. Please pay this toll thing now. And which is weird. That's the weirdest.
Did you do it?
No.
That's crazy.
But
That's
it was
deep.
one of those things where I texted Mike. I was like, this isn't legit, right? And he was like, no.
They're destroying families. They're
trying to break up families.
Yeah, they're turning brother against brother.
But yeah, I don't know how the scammer got my brother's contact information and
damn.
And he was sending pictures of like real letters addressed to me from this toll thing.
That's a good scam though.
Sounds like
Texting
you might
somebody
actually
be
have to pay
like,
a
your
toll.
brother owes a lot of money. Please tell him to pay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay. So what's your update that you still can't believe you got scammed?
My update is I'm a fool for getting scammed, and I regret even talking about it because I've gotten hit up nonstop for the past week of people basically just being like, I got this text too, you're an idiot.
Yeah. You are kind of an idiot for
No,
phone.
you're
Yeah.
a big time idiot.
Yeah. So it's a double Fyre Fest.
But it's kind of nice having to get your card reset because then all the subscriptions that you
I need
forgot
that
about,
bad.
yeah, it cleans it out for you naturally.
Yeah.
This is why you should never pay anything.
Right.
Yeah, good point.
That
Yeah.
too.
If anyone ever like yells at you for not paying something, you'd be like, oh, I thought it was a scam.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my bad. And then when they're like, no, but you actually have to pay, be like, are you sure? You seem like a scam.
You
to
like
me.
scam.
Yeah, close out your bar tab.
IRS?
This seems like it's fraudulent.
Yeah, that's a scam. Okay, PFT.
I had a pretty good week this week, I would say. My Fyre Fest is that I have fallen deeply in love with a house that I'm not going to buy. Mm-hmm. And I'm obsessed with this house. And I can't stop looking at this house and just thinking about it. It's like 60 acres. They call it a hobby farm. It's got like a gym, little basketball hoop. I look at it every single day.
You love farming, so I can understand.
Yeah, well, no, I got
And you have a lot of time to farm.
I got so deep in this obsession with a house that I'm not going to buy. I started to look up what kind of crops grow out here and what I could plant on the farm that I'm not going to purchase. But I'm obsessed with it. I look at the house probably 2 or 3 times a day and just think, yeah, that's where my corn would go.
You should just buy it.
Some snow peas right there. Well, the thing is, when you get a farm, it's not just like waking up and like your cows are happy to see you at the front door and then you go about your business. You actually have to work.
By the
No,
way,
you just pay someone else to do
this
the
farm
work.
is in Wisconsin too. So.
Yeah.
Oh. How far away is it?
It's like an hour and a half away.
Oh, we'd never see you again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we would see him the same amount of time. His cows would never see him.
Yeah, they would all die.
Yeah, like that's the part.
But
I don't think PFT would be like, I'm going to farm, see you boys later. He would just buy a farm and be like, farm, I'm never going to see you.
Yeah. I even looked up how many chickens I could keep there. I started looking at ducks and goats.
Are chickens like cats? You can just leave out food for them?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
They
I
take
would
care
have-
of themselves.
I'd have to call you every morning to make sure you left on time.
Yeah,
No,
you
he
would.
would. No, he's talking about having this as being like a second home.
Oh.
Yeah, where he would never go to this farm.
I thought you
Yeah.
were talking about just moving.
No.
I would summer at the farm. The cows would be like,
No.
where have you been? We're all dying.
Yeah.
We all have brucellosis. Give us medicine.
Yeah.
Sounds like a terrible house.
I even looked up cattle diseases that I should need to be on the lookout for.
Yeah, but Max, it has a basketball court.
Yeah. We don't have a basketball court. PFT, known lover of playing basketball.
It's got a gym.
We also have a gym.
Yeah, I know, but we don't have a farm.
Does it have a lake?
There's no
Nope.
lake.
Oh, this is pointless.
Oh,
No,
that's
you
a
would
good
think,
point,
yeah.
Max.
There's a lake very close
You need
by.
a fishing
No,
pond.
there's
Yeah.
there's a lake very close by to here.
Yeah, you need a
No, this
you need
lake
a fishing
is closer.
pond.
This
Huh?
lake is way closer.
The
It's
lake.
it's sad
you
though
have-
because I've been showing everybody this house and everybody is like pumped for me to continue thinking about buying the house that I'm not going to buy, except for you guys.
Who has
gu-
given you
guys-
positive
you guys
reinforcement about
you
this
guys
house?
are the only
Who has given you
ones
positive reinforcement about this house?
who are taking
Who?
big steamy
Who?
dumps on my daydream.
Name names.
We're not taking dumps on it. It just it makes no sense. I listen. The house is sick. You showed me it.
I think you guys
It's
don't
awesome.
believe I can farm.
Just get a lake house.
Right.
Just get it.
Right.
There's houses on lakes.
Right.
Get.
Right. That would be.
You
sick.
are rich.
Where
You can
right.
buy a lake house.
Where are the goats going to live on a lake?
Who
Goats
Who
don't
needs
swim.
goats? You have dogs. Your dog is big.
Yeah, well, I'd have to get more dogs for the farm.
You just get it. Just get dogs at a lake house.
Who has given you positive reinforcement about getting this house?
Everybody that I've showed it to
Who?
probably dozens of people.
Name one name.
My friend Brian.
Okay. And he doesn't have to work with you though.
No, he doesn't. But he said he'd come visit the farm.
Yeah, I would visit the farm.
Yeah.
But was it like you should do this, or was it just like, oh, that's cool?
And he's like, awesome. Yeah, you should get it.
Visiting a farm is cool. Visiting a lake is so much cooler.
Yes. And also, keyword is visiting too.
Yeah, no, I would like you to have a lake
Again.
and you to get a boat as well.
Yes.
Again, I'm not going to buy this farm, but I am obsessed with thinking about buying the farm.
Yeah, that part I totally understand.
Yeah.
I look at Zillow all the time, being like, "Oh shit, look at this house in Malibu. Look at this house in Montana." I'm never going to buy any of it.
Every
but
time
it
you
is
go on
cool to look
vacation,
at.
you have to look at like, what a property. But
Doing the fantasizing on Zillow is everyone does that. I'm nervous you might actually try to buy it, and then you're going to be like, "Guys, I made a mistake. I have to move to this farm because every animal's dying."
I mean, I think the farm likes
Can we
me
do
too.
a Zoom episode? My cows are dying.
Listen, I want to indulge in fantasizing about buying this. But I fear this is why it's about Fyre Fest is because I've become obsessed with it.
Yeah. I think this is your answer, by the way, Hank. What would get us to stop podcasting? Him buying this farm.
I get a farm.
We bought a farm.
We bought a zoo.
Think of the fans.
Yeah, but I mean, so you could do squash.
Fans would
You could do
lose.
cucumbers, tomatoes.
You could do good content on the farm though.
Yeah, good content. Yeah.
What was that game back at Farmville?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do
Remember that?
real life.
Yeah,
LeBron
real life
James.
Farmville.
I would even maybe grow some weed. The possibilities
All
are
these
endless.
These things you can do at your current house.
Yeah, you could.
These possibilities, like no, you can't. I can't have animals at my current house.
You have
You
one.
have one.
I have one,
You could have another.
but you guys are forgetting the goats.
You could get a goat.
I
You have a
could.
little backyard.
I
You could
could.
have your goat live out there. All right, my Fyre Fest. It's a future Fyre Fest. I got a issue you guys can maybe help me with. So, my house is stocked with snacks. It's always stocked with snacks. I'm a big fruit snacks guy. Love fruit snacks.
Yep.
Pound them. I'll open like 6 of them, make a big pile in my hand, and just eat them.
I'm Mott's over Welch's myself.
Yeah, so I am as well. So the problem though is my wife buys more fruit snacks because the fruit snacks get eaten. I don't think she realizes I'm the only one eating them. And she just bought like a week ago a brand I don't like, and it's like the tropical flavor.
Yeah.
And I haven't eaten any of them. And they're just sitting there and no one's eating them because I don't think she realized that I was the only one eating them, and I'm going to get found out for being the only one who's eating the fruit snacks. I don't know what to do.
You got to just bring them to the office and give them away.
Yeah, or throw them out.
Yeah.
I just stared at them last night because I was like, oh, I want a snack. And there's probably 50 bags of these fruit snacks sitting there just not being touched because I was the one who was doing the work.
Put them out for the birds.
Yeah, and then I got to
if you
figure
have
out.
one of those fruit snacks too, you have 7. Like they're
Oh,
they're
yeah,
a great
no,
snack. They're not filling at all.
No.
Listen, if I had opened up my snack closet last night and it was the SpongeBob fruit snacks, they'd be gone. I would have taken them all down one side. Like I'll buy a box of 10 and I'll give like my kids 1 to share between the 3 of them, and I'll eat the rest.
Yeah, I agree with you. The tropical subpar.
Gross.
Yeah,
So
not good.
I gotta figure out. So I think maybe bring him in here because I'm right on the cusp. It's been about a week where I'm gonna get found out as being the only one who ever eats the fruit snacks.
Yeah, bring them in, distribute them.
Maybe I'll just put them in my kids' bags and just be like, give them to your friends.
Yeah.
Just tell them it's Valentine's Day again.
Or just put them out on your front step and put a sign that says, please take one.
Free fruit
Act like
snacks.
it's Halloween.
Yeah. I'm trying to get more fruit snacks in this house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's finish up. We got numbers. Monday's show is going to be an awesome show. We got a very Italian show. Nick Sirianni, awesome interview, and Diana Rossini. Let's do numbers.
5.
Memes.
11.
Memes, you ever gotten this?
No.
I think Memes is going to get it today.
No,
40.
Max, there's no way he's getting it today.
3. I got a good feeling.
Nine.
Somebody's going to get it.
I don't have... Somebody, not you.
Somebody.
I'll go 44.
Come on.
99
3.
55. 21.
Hank, what was your number?
5.
What was yours, PFT?
He stole my number. I did 40.
Pug texted me last night in the Seton Hall Villanova game, trying to rub it in my face that Seton Hall was going to beat Villanova, and then they never scored again.
Oh,
That's tough.
They were up
Pug.
16 and just never scored again.
Pug.
That first half, though.
Yeah.
Fire.
It was a hell of a first half.
Don't forget.
It's 40. I'm buying this house.
26. 26. Good call, Memes.
Wrong again, Memes.
Not only wrong with the number, but wrong saying someone's going to get it.
Love you guys.
It's wrong 2 times.